close to the speed of light is a kind of elixir of life. Because time slows down close to the speed of light, special relativity provides us with a means of going to the stars.
Freedom, I never had the chance to run. Leave behind the said and done. Figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe. And I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down and all the things you said out.
And the sun may still rise, but your light is missing. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here with you. I wish it were clear why you had to go. I wish you were near. I'll keep you right here beside me. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away
figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again. So we can fly
stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
to Simplay Motorsport on this famous, historic night, if you will. Our season comes to an end, and our time on Project Cars comes to an end as well. It's been a very special occasion. It's been fantastic to be on this platform. We've had some fantastic moments from GT5s and Renault Clios to GT3s and GTEs. And every championship we've put on from this platform has been absolutely memorable, to say the least. But all good things must come to an end. And instead of remembering Project Cars for what it is, let's celebrate it for what it was and look forward to the future of Simplay Motorsport. As we get a few disconnections there, hopefully them guys can get back in the lobby. I'm your host, Mathew Duffin, and with me tonight is the one and only Dan Davis. And Dan, we go again one final time this season.
Yep, here we are, Daytona, the final time in the home of Simplay Motorsport. Last time on Project Cars here on the channel. Obviously, we might still see Project Cars from time to time again if we do have some special events on, but nonetheless, thank you, Project Cars, firstly, for being such a massively bench-setting mark game. Every single game, obviously, is good in its own way. ACC is very good, F1's very good, and all that stuff. But for me, this has been the pinnacle of streaming racing games, and no one has set the boundary higher in the past than this game and this platform. And it's a sad we have to say goodbye to it. Like I said, we still might come back for a couple of endurance races, maybe some fun events as well. But nonetheless, Matt, it's done us very, very well, and most of my championships were actually done on this platform. And also this year, did a quick PlayStation rundown of most games I played. And it was this 585 hours I've spent on this game just this year. So thanks, Project Cars, for just completely and utterly ruining my life.
Indeed, it has. And like you say, that most of your championships won on this platform. And what championships we've had, you know, obviously your GT5s, GTEs, Renault Clios, GT3s, touring cars as well, along the line, excuse me there, touring cars as well. Many highlights we've had over the season. Obviously, I'm sure we'll discuss throughout the evening about them. But before we do get into discussing
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the
final
time, the final round.
And take a listen to the fantastic track guide for the final time this season, done by none other than Mr. Unauthor Dubs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final time, the final round of the season here at Daytona. And for the final race here on Project Cars, we run the Aston Simplay car, an Aston Martin car that never gets used on Project Cars. So for the final track guide, we'll use it around Daytona. As we head towards turn one, we come off the banking at quite a high speed, down into turn one, very tricky braking zone as it is a left-handed corner at the same time, so the car is always moving and trying to change its position as we then go straight into the chicane for turn two and turn three, and then launch ourselves towards turn four. A great opportunity to make places and a good overtaking position as well, not just from the start but later on in the race. As you can see, he gets a good exit through turn four, but obviously the main action is going to be at the start, rolling start here at Daytona. You see here, all the cars are quite congested. The Audi's trying to attack the Aston down the inside, pushes the other Aston wide, and this is what I mean, he gets quite congested, and then the tight chicane afterwards into then turn four, where everyone's just jostling and trying to find position. But like I said, a very good overtaking opportunity. As is turn four, down the inside of the Porsche 911, we see here, the Aston gets a run, gets a better run through the chicane, and gets the job done. As you can see here, great run through there. The door opens up, and the Aston launches it down the inside to get the job done. Chassis cars are going to be so good in this first sector. It is very tight, very twisty. So the likes of the Ginetta and Aston, the Ginetta and the Audi should be good here, especially the Porsche as well. Into the left-handed kink of turn 5, then towards turn 6. Another good opportunity to overtake here. If you had a great run through turn 4, see there the Aston just struggling with rear grip there. Set up for a straight line advantage here. If you had a great run just like so, the BMW has a moment through the kink. We get an opportunity down the inside in the Aston Martin to get the job done in turn 6. And you can see here, just works his way through past the BMW and gets a better run towards turn 7 behind the Ginetta. Turn 7, another tricky corner to get right. You see the overhead, it's just an open exit there, and the Aston running a little bit wide, but that's the natural line it takes. A great opportunity to overtake as the Ginetta gets under some pressure here. Down the inside the Aston goes, gets the better run and pushes the Ginetta wide, gaining that advantage to get him the run onto the banking. The banking is where the Mercedes and any other power car will look very good. The Mercedes is going to be favoured. The Aston Martin actually the fastest through here. That's why we're running it here at Daytona. But watch out for the Mercedes and the Porsche in Pro-Am. The Porsche looking very strong in a straight line as well. But the Mercedes will be the dominant one to keep an eye on. And if it gets a tow as well, you're a sitting duck. You see here the Renault just gets out-dragged by the Aston, and that's how easy it is to get out-dragged. Towards the bus stop chicane, where all sorts of chaos can happen, especially if it's wet and if there's thunderstorms lurking around, this could be very, very lethal. Making sure you keep two wheels at least on the yellow curb. And also it's very good opportunity, especially for the Mercedes and the Porsche. Down the inside goes the Aston Martin, gets the job done on the BMW. Make sure you keep it under control, because it might just spit you back out the other side. On board as well, the BMW looks to overtake the McLaren, but down the inside, and nothing he can do because the Aston's already there. Touches the yellow curb and that one as well. It's still within track limits as long as two wheels are touching that yellow curb. If not, it will be deemed as taking track limits. Into the final banking as well, and again, one last opportunity for the Mercedes or a fast power car to get the job done. If you're in the tow though of another car, there's a great opportunity to get a good lap time. Especially the chassis cars will want to make sure they focus on the first sector and then just try and get a tow for the rest of the lap. And towards the line the Aston comes. And like I said, this bank is a great opportunity. If you get a good tow like the Aston's had here, it can attack into turn 1 and get the job done. So the banking really does set you up for turn 1 as well. And that's roughly a quick run through of Daytona. Into the final corner though, we do have to look down the inside of the left of the yellow line to get the pit entry right. As you see here, the Aston Martin coming up to the pit entry line. You need to make sure when you come in, you're on the left hand side of that yellow line. As you come into pit entry, just you come off the banking so that the drivers behind know that you are pitting. Red line as well. Green cones, release. And make sure you stay in the left hand side. If you do cross onto the track or go to the right hand side of this wall, you will get a penalty, and that will be your season over and done with. And again, a lot of drivers caught out last time we ran Daytona. Make sure you do not cross that white line. You stick to the left hand side as you rejoin the track. That was a lap of Daytona. And what a finale, the home of Simplay Motorsport. And we're going to miss Project Cars. It's been an honour running it here, and also it's been an honour having the Aston Martin. Lap records around here, quali is owned by Arnold for Dubs in the Porsche. Gary in the Porsche in the race record as well for the Pro. Pro-Am is the Rabbit Joe and JM Grill in the Mercedes-Benz. Most successful drivers here is Fury, Gary, and most polls go to Gary, Sutty, KLF, and Rabbit Joe, all with 2. Best of luck for the final race this season, and we'll go back to the comms one last time. Thank you again for Project Cars for great seasons with us.
We'll go back to the comms one last time. Thank you again for Project Cars for great season.
And there then was your final track guide of the season. Thank you very much, Dan, Unorthodox. Dan, great job all season.
Been a pleasure, and I actually enjoyed changing car for once. Aston Martin was a joyous to drive around here. The Acura wasn't quite up to the standards for this track, sadly. Apologies to anyone who's driving the Acura.
Yeah, Dean, Argent, and Smithy. Envious for tomorrow's race then, maybe?
Can we make a deal?
Go on. Let's
you can have the you can have the GT5 title if I can have the Aston Martin for one round.
Oh no, I don't want it. Don't want it. As you can see there, ladies and gentlemen, there is a few spots of rain appearing on your screen. Yes, rain is lurking around, and I tell you what is coming tonight is the start of something major tomorrow night, because tomorrow's weather looks horrific at the moment. Tonight, just a few showers here and there are forecast, so we'll have to see what the drivers do. In this one then, it's currently the Porsche of KLF 900 on pole position then. And in fact, one thing we didn't load up just there as we change back, let's get it up for you now then, is Season 7, Round 23 and 24 of Daytona Road Course, the home of Simplay Motorsport. It is 2.95 miles, 4.748 kilometres. It has a banking degree. We couldn't find out the length of the circuit, so you've got, the elevation of the circuits. It's pretty flat. So you've got a banking degree. The bankings are 31 degrees banked. It opened in 1985. It doesn't have an FIA grade, as oval circuits do not in the United States. That goes for Indianapolis. That goes for Texas Motor Speedway as well. I do believe that Texas Road Course will not have an FIA grade, as Shane stacks it into turn 1. It has 12 turns. It's an anti-clockwise circuit, and as Dan said, himself and Gary the Pro records, but the Pro-Am record set by Rabbit Joe in his Mercedes, a 1:43.7, and by JM Grill in his Mercedes, a 1:45.4. Most pole positions, Gary, Sutty, KLF and Rabbit Joe, 2 apiece. Most wins, Fury and Gary, 131. So Gary, probably one of the best around this circuit, Dan. And in terms of pole positions, well, if Joe can manage to get in and keep a connection, if Kelly can manage to put it on pole position, it's just more stats added to their name, and it helps them become the most successful driver, or one of, here at Daytona Road Course.
Yeah, definitely so, as Selsoff is now starting to notice that there's lack of grip out there. This man's got a lot of work to do tonight. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, being in a very similar car to him, obviously the 24-hour version, not the normal version. The Audi isn't very fast around here. So I believe Max and Leon have got a lot of work to do. Maybe the rain coming around will help them out. But to be honest, all eyes are set on the Porsche. This should be its 50th win. On paper, the Porsche should win here tonight. In the Pro, the Porsche actually holds both lap records for not just qualifying, but also for the race. Gary with the race, myself with the qualifying as well, and I will admit it was with a slipstream. Nonetheless, it was still a pole position. The Porsche is actually very good around here. I think the Porsche is actually the best all-rounder around here. The Mercedes is very dominant, as is the Aston Martin. But I think this first sector is where the Porsche really gains its advantage overall. Yes, it can keep with the cars in the banking. It doesn't lose too much time, as Kelly's experimenting with the pit entry. But the Porsche is very wide-ranged all the way around. It can do the first sector really well, and then just excel with straight line speed towards the back. And Lamborghini might be quite good around here as well. We won't know, because Overtaker won't be here tomorrow night to run the Lamborghini. But nonetheless, Max and Leon Fernie have got a lot of work to do. And with this rain as well lurking around, it might help them out, as the Ginetta also might be able to come back with this wet weather lurking around. But either way, Porsche needs to get its 50th win, or else this car will be on its way to try and hunt it down before the end of the season. All it needs is 2 wins, and it beats the Porsche.
It does indeed, 2 wins to beat the Porsche. Now, we do have to apologise. Max Mulder is running in Leon Fernie's livery tonight, and Leon Fernie and Max Mulder's, that is my mistake. I apologise for that one. So they are in the opposite liveries tonight. PN in the chat saying, no DJ Phil tonight. We hope to get DJ Phil in.
Mulder's gone round.
A few personal things to sort out today. So we do. DJ Phil is hoping to be in and on. He wants to get cement his place top 10 in the championship this season, as we have lost Tibbs and Joe. Joe's connection is not looking great for him, is it?
No, not really. And I think it possibly could be throwing out a lot of other people's connections as well. But either way, it's not looking very good. And what else is not looking very good is the drivers at the minute. None of them are able to just keep it on track. Everyone seems to be having a moment. Here's Smithy going into the banking now, and he's just lost the rear and gone round as well. As you see there, Ukbar coming down towards turn 1. Can he keep it in a straight line? And Matt, you've known from experience, he goes wide as well. No one just seems to be able to keep the car on track.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you've raced in the rain around here, but when...
Well, last season was wet for pretty much the whole week here at Daytona, and it was a nightmare. The puddles to watch out for are coming onto the oval and coming through the bus stop chicane. They're the real key puddles. The one onto the oval, you really have to change your racing line. In terms of the bus stop, you kind of have to just hope and pray, Dan. I'm not sure how much wet weather running you've done here, but it is all the way across the whole of the exit to the bus stop, and there's not really any place you can go. You can't really take it at any kind of speed. You've just got to hope and pray, I think, to get through it.
Yeah, I mean, the way I have done a lot of wet running here, actually, to be fair, and I like the wet. The wet is it's an equalizer, but on this track, it is actually more lethal than anything. The bus stop chicane, as you say, is a very bad section. The cars go from pretty much their top speed, come to a sudden stop, and then they have to turn left and right quite quickly. And with these conditions, we go on board with Ugbag through the bus stop. It's very slick. Like the weather, the temperature isn't. What you see there? He's just fighting the car, and he manages just to give it a little scrape. But the temperatures are low, the grip is low, And I think this is why the Porsche should benefit from it. It's
Yeah.
so used to racing here in the wet conditions. I've driven it in the wet, and it's a very, very good car. Like I said, the bus stop is the only issue. It's aquaplaning.
If
The
I
only other
remember
issue they might struggle as well is into turn one. If we go on board with Welshie, you come
Into
onto
the
the
braking
banking.
zone.
You're turning and braking at the same time
yeah.
while in the wet as well. You're asking the car to do so much. And if we watch Welshie now, is he going to get it stopped? He is, but there is puddles forming, and he goes wide.
Right.
So it is very easy.
It's more an
struggle.
aquaplane at the turn one, isn't it, than hit a puddle and spin. It's more aquaplaning on the brakes, like say, trying to get the car to do so much, and
Yeah.
it just kind of refuses and gives up on you into turn one, as you see here with Stealth again. Look, trying to brake, turn, get it in, get back on the power. It just kind of wants to slide an aquaplane forward. But like you say, Dan, the Porsche, the car to be in around here, it is the most successful in Gary's hands, and Gary's done a lot around here in the Porsche. You've got the qualifying record around here, shows how well it's gone in the Porsche's hands as well. It is a strong car for this circuit. It's obviously not one of the strongest. We know the Mercedes can be a bit stronger, but we go back to a few seasons ago as one of our highlights of a season. You remember Kelly's first race win with Argent in the Pro-Am was defending from the Mercedes lap after lap in the Porsche, so it can hold its own around here, and it is a great choice.
It is indeed, and obviously the Porsche being the fastest car in this category as well, on just pure top speed, is favoured for this round, definitely, no matter what you say. Shane and a Ferrari, he seems to have a bit of pace as well. By loads of things, he's able to try and bring that gap down, but I don't know why these guys are sitting in the pits. You want to get as much wet running as you can possibly get while you can. Even if it is just a couple of laps, you make a few tweaks, a few adjustments. And to those, obviously, a lot of people to this channel know most of about racing, but some others don't. And when Matt was talking about aquaplaning, obviously that's when the car comes to a puddle, and instead of driving through the puddle, it aquaplanes in and skids across the top of the water surface, and it doesn't actually touch tarmac grip. So it then just slides across the top of the puddle, and that's where you get the aquaplaning effect. What these guys could possibly do to change that is obviously they can add downforce to the car. Obviously, the more downforce they run, the more the car is being pushed down to the ground. And also the ride height as well can stop the aquaplaning as well. So the car isn't bottoming out. So there's a few things that they can adjust and change to help. They don't have to run as much camber. Obviously, they're not going as fast, so the camber can be taken down. And also, they can add more toe. They're not after straight line speed, they're after grip. So there's a lot that these guys can do to alter and change for these wet conditions. From what I've learned, you want a higher ride height here anyway, due to the banking and the nature of the bank. But either way, I think it's really all about survival again, Matt. I mean, these guys have just got light rain or rain as such. But tomorrow night, it's going to be the interesting one with the weather forecast around.
Indeed, it is. A lot of rain around tomorrow night, maybe the odd thunder shower as well. We'll have to wait and see and keep our eyes on that then. Right, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, then we know Max Mulder has already wrapped this one up. He's 118 points clear of Argent, but Argy Bargy in a fight for second place with Shane. 7 points separate them boys. They're well clear of Monkey Boy, who will come out P2 and 3 in the championship. Monkey Boy, though, is in a fight for P4 with Ukbar, Rabbit Joe and his teammate Kelly, who's currently sat 5th place and 16 points behind him at the moment. DJ Phil is P8 and is a point ahead of Dean Wisocki, but DJ Phil not yet in the session. If you're wondering why Dean has dropped down the standings so much, a third retirement last week meant that a 25-point deduction for Dean was on the cards, and that has put him in a real top 10 battle with Smithy, Welshie, Leon Fernie, Bryn, himself, and DJ Phil. So a lot of drivers for that top 10. Tibbs on 80 points, obviously a late starter to the season, coming in when Bozzy Boy was banned. Bozzy Boy, though, still ahead of Stealth on points. Stealth will be looking to sort that out tonight. And the SRL Racing Team wrapped up the constructors last week, but Super Crash Bros and the SFA Acora Racing Team and Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros are all in a shout. 11 points separate separate second to fourth. And the Super Crash Bros and SFA Acora team are tied on points. Terminal Velocity Racing, they are 5th. Doesn't matter what happens, they will stay 5th. For Wakasaki Racing, they are just ahead of Simplay Racing and MC Motorsport, who are tied at the bottom of the pack. 54 drivers' points up for grabs in race 1, 94 as of race 1 for the constructors. Dan, anything can happen. That top four for Joe tonight, top 5 for Joe in terms of the championship. He's not looking like this. He cannot stay in the session. But Argent and Shane fighting for second place, the bridesmaid this season. It's ebbed and flowed with them all season. Who do you think's got the upper hand? Shane's had more wins. Argent's had a couple of wins to his name this season. Who do you think has the advantage tonight on this track?
This is something the boys will have to discuss with me and you tomorrow night. But definitely you would have the advantage tomorrow night. It's hard to say, really. I think Shane is the man I think that's going to be able to take it tonight. I think he's able to hook that Ferrari a little bit better. The Acura has got a major disadvantage just from outright straight line speed. And I recently found out from Peaceful and Sutty that the Ferrari actually can carry minus downforce, so that's in its favour. Somehow it manages to turn into a plane and lift instead of push it to the ground. Instead it lifts, which is odd. But I think Shane's got it. He's developed as a driver this season, has really improved, and obviously we said the season before, just joining, he was getting better and better and better, and again this season he's just improved more. As the season's gone on, and he really has shown to become the best of the rest to Max later on in the season. So I actually think Shane is the man that could take it for second place tonight. Arjun, he's got the pace, he's got the mentality, but I just think Shane's a little bit more cool, calm, and collected for this one.
So let's keep our eyes on. I have to agree. I think Shane may have that, and I think Shane may have the car underneath him. But hey, this is motorsport. This is Simplay Motorsport as well, and we know that things don't always go according to plan. So let's keep our eyes out on who will do what later tonight. And you can bet your money that we have got a fantastic race ahead of us. In this one then, Bryn, the only man not setting a time in the session. And that for Bryn will not be the worst thing in the world. He'll obviously be very keen to make sure he keeps going and keeps getting them laps in ready to go. But Dan, practice is over. It's time to go, isn't it, really? Kelly, your man, the quickest in the practice session. Poll in the chat for who you think will get pole position in this one. Get your votes in the chat for that. But Dan, your tip for pole position.
Not bad from me, old man there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's a wet session to start off with. These guys got to get out now. They've got to get out on track now. For pole position, I'm actually going to go Ukba for pole.
Fair enough. I am going to go. Who's the first man out on track?
Ukba.
Yes.
And Monkey Boy.
I'm going to stick with Kelly. I think Kelly is going to be the man to get pole position. Dean Wasocki cannot qualify. He will start at the back of the pack. He has a qualifying ban from last week due to retiring from the race. Either way then, Max, Leon, Dean, Bryn, Smithy, Shane, all still coming out the pits. There is a car as well as Dean sat in the pit lane still. And I wonder who that is. Is it Max Mulder? It is Max Mulder.
He is actually currently messaging his engineer right now.
Well, there we go then. We know what Max is doing.
I'm not going to say what he's saying, but when he's saying that he was stressing in the dry, he might be stressing even more in the wet.
As Gary in the chat, weather doesn't look good for tomorrow. No, the weather looks horrendous for tomorrow, but you love a wet race and we're in the Mercedes-Benz, Gary, so nothing to worry about here then. As look at the traffic jam on track. Now, Daniel, another talking point in this one then. Slipstream around here. We know he's going to be very strong and very effective. Tomorrow night, your tactic, is it to use a slipstream? If so, I assume it's got to be from a Mercedes-Benz.
I just hope and pray that a young 18-year-old will be on track. That's all I'm hoping and praying. Let's hope his dodgy fingers will be repaired and dealt with by tomorrow. But yeah, I think for certain cars like the Acura, the Audi, and possibly the Ginetti, you want to get a tow, but you have to time it just right, especially for this circuit. For someone like Arjun right now, he does not want to be sitting this close to the back of Kelly because he will gain an advantage in Sector 1. He'll catch him and have to lift and ruin his first sector. So really, he wants to be possibly half a second further back, gain that advantage in the first sector, and just about catch him as he goes onto the banking. That would be the best way to get the best toe. But it's so difficult to get it right, as both Kelly and Arjun both run wide. Arjun has a wiggle into entry, but Kelly's managed to keep it more under control. And as you can see there, already he's too close to the back of Kelly. He made a mistake, and Kelly's able to excel in this sector now.
Yeah, the other thing as well there was because Kelly'd made the mistake, Arjun get a bit distracted by that by running too close. I noticed it's warm but wet. Can't be that, in all honesty. No, you can't. Monkey Boy's gone off, so that's ruined his first lap, and he's going to have to make sure he joins safely and does so right behind Tibbs.
This man could be a dark horse tonight. A big dark horse.
Forgot to mention him, really, hasn't he? He's home circuit.
It is home circuit. Porsche 911. There we go. There's the advantage in power. And his track knowledge. I don't know how much Exit Tibbs knows about Daytona, how much he watches of it or knows it or runs it, but we just assume, being an American driver, he should know this track very well.
Now, Tracy's in the chat.
I was going to say, Tracy, if you could tell me yes or no how much he likes this track, that'd be ideal.
What is Tibbs' local circuit? How far is he away from Daytona if it isn't his local circuit? What knowledge of Daytona does he have? I think is the three we'd kind of like to know, because it'd be interesting to see what is his home circuit, if not this one. As Ukbar then will be the first man to set a lap time, and I can tell you, it is Exit Tibbs who's on an absolute flyer. Purple and purple at the moment. Here, though, comes Ukbar to the line at the moment, a 46.1 in that first sector, a 40.7 in the middle sector. Here he comes. Can Ukbar manage to put it on provisional pole? Well, of course he can. He's the first man to cross the line. Second man, Tibbs, absolutely nails it. 6/10 quicker. Monkey Boy will be third across the line, but obviously has made a mistake. Argent will be third across the line, so Monkey Boy must have backed out. Argent, fourth fastest. Kelly, just off the back of Ukbar as well, but don't forget Kelly had a wiggle turn one. Kelly, fastest man through the final sector then on this lap. And we are, as we are at the moment, everybody coming around. Well, that's an interesting strategy from Bryn there, Dan. On his own, nice and quiet, no one around him to bother him, but no slipstream either.
Shane's just gone P2. That was the man I was trying to search for. Yeah, he's gone P2. He is on his own. Sometimes a car near you distracts you more than anything. Sometimes it does distract me, but Bryn P9, it's not worked for him. Max is still on lap. He's actually... Everyone else is in Sector 1 or going into Sector 2. He's at the other end of the circuit, so Max really has given himself the most amount of clean air he could possibly hope for. Rabbit Joe joining the session, which is completely lagged out the lobby for some of these guys, so they'll be a bit annoyed with Rabbit Joe coming into the lobby.
Max just got purple middle sector, sorry, Dan.
He does that, and he then goes underneath the banking, so he's already thrown himself off there. If he gets pole here, he has gone under the yellow line on the banking, so I don't know what the stewards would think of that one. But he has gone purple middle sector. Is this positional pole? No.
It is not. It is only P4 behind his teammate Leon Fernie, who's chucked himself into P3 then at the moment. The next man to set a lap time, Tibbs, purple sector 1, and then Kelly beats him in sector 1. Argy Bargy then going past Kelly. So has Kelly made a mistake? Middle sector, I think so,
More
yes, because his middle sector is a little
more
lower.
Importantly, when Argent came through that middle sector, as Ukbar goes faster, as he came through that middle sector, Argent was up 1.2. That was the lap he needed. He nailed sector 1. He nailed the middle sector. He got the toe off Kelly, and bang, he goes P2.
9/10 in an Acura we're not surely going to see an Acura on pole position, are we, for this race tonight? That would be a turn up for the books. There then is Stealth Sloth going 19 seconds quicker, or is that Monkey Boy going 19 seconds quicker? Can't tell. Stealth Sloth down in P10, Monkey Boy now in P8, so Max is down to 6th. Kelly's down to 7th place, and Max Mulder then goes purple sector 1. Bryn's had a mistake at the bus stop.
Yeah, has had a mistake. Max is now into sector 2. He's looking for a private. Ukbar's at the moment. People are now starting to make mistakes. Exit Tibbs is still the man on pole position. Will this be his first pole position?
No, he had a pole in a race too. To be his first race 1 pole position.
Ah, I see. Okay. Fair enough. So it will be Max Mulder next to come towards the line, and Max has got it all to do. It is purple middle sector. Has he listened to his race engineer and done as is told? Because He seems to know better. Towards the line he comes, and he stays to the left-hand side. And is it me, Matt, or is the rain easing ever so
I
slightly?
thought it was easing, and then we changed to this camera angle as Max Muldoon goes pole by 0.4 of a second. I don't know how wet this track is at the moment, but that is one heck of a lap from Max Mulder there.
It's wet, but it's not horrifically
You know
wet.
who would have gambled the softs in this situation, don't you? Mr. Sooty Apex. Yeah. I think would have 100% risked them soft tyres in this situation.
Well, I'm going to say is Sugo.
Well, exactly, you know, and look how that one went.
Well, KLF has now ended up in front of Argent. Has he had a toe off him? No, it hasn't worked out for Kelly here. So at the minute, Kelly was near the top. He's now dropped to 7th as everyone else has improved around him. So Kelly needs to really nail Sector 1, I think. And everyone else is just finding time here and there. Monkey Boy towards the line, no improvement. Welshie, is he going to improve on 9th? No, he stays there. Smithy, he's next to the line. Any improvement for him? No. Yeah. Smithy, a little rainmeister himself. He knows how to handle these wet conditions most of the time. His exit tips is done, and he will not get another lap out for sure. So he's done for qualifying. As Max is on pole position, can he take the Audi one step closer and equalise with the Porsche?
We'll have to wait and see. He's green personal best Sector 1, but I don't think that means anything. I don't think that picks that up. Apparently he's now just gone purple Sector 1 when he crossed Sector 2. So I don't know how true this app is at the moment, but he's purple. He's up on his time, apparently. He's the only one up on his time because he's the only one finding time at the moment. Everybody else, their sector times are coming up as white. No green sectors being put in anywhere from any other driver. Bryn, Stovsloft, Smithy, all sat in the pit lane. And they are done as Max goes even quicker, Dan, by 0.03 of a second.
I thought it was 800ths, but okay. But fair enough. Oh, no, it was 300, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching the stream, but I'm half asleep. I feel rough as hell. So
you're not well
apologies
tonight,
now.
are you, Dan?
No, not really. But hey. We soldier on. It's the last race here at Project Cars, and I'm going to soldier on.
Shane comes to the line then. Can he get any improvement on it? No, but will get one final lap in. Here comes Kelly. There's someone else just in front of him. That is Argy Bargy to the line. I don't think Argy thought he'd be third place at the moment tonight. He gets one more chance at this. Kelly will be the first man to cross the line and finish the session. It's P7 and it stays P7 at the moment. Next man is teammate Monkey Boy down in 8th place. Can he improve on that? No, he cannot. Welshie in the Porsche as well. He's only 9th. So Dan, we're only seeing one Porsche in the top 5 at the moment.
We are. I know for sure my dad will be very disappointed with P7. And again, it was the first couple of laps is where you had to get it done. Max obviously improved towards the end. He's just messaged me. He says he finally has trust in the car. So that's something to be worried about for the guys at the minute. But it is exit tips at the minute on the front row. Can the Audi of Leon Fernie get any higher? No, he can't.
No, he cannot. So Leon Fernie then will start down in P6, but it's Max Mulder who takes yet another pole position this season. That is his 9th of the season. It's Exit Tibzo who will line up alongside him for this rolling start. Argy Bargy, I bet he didn't predict a second row start here tonight as he will line up then. P3 on the grid. Shane will be in 4th. Row 3 is that of Ukbar and Leon Fernie. A great qualifying session for Ukbar and Leon Fernie, P6, doing well in the Audi. And then really the shock of the night, the Porsches of Kelly, Monkey Boy, Welshie in P9, Smithy 10th from Stelsloff 11th, Bryn down in 12th. Not a good qualifying for him. And Dean Wisocki at the back of the pack. Dan, tip for race 1 win.
This is a hard one. I'm actually, I think, I don't want to curse anybody. Shane.
Okay. I'm with Max.
Interesting call.
Don't forget them. If you are new to the channel, do hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Obviously, last races of the season, we'll be bringing you a few special events in the new year. And keep your eyes out on the Discord, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for anything that's coming new. ACC and F1 coming for the championships next season. Keep your eyes out for the sign-up sheets going out over the Christmas period. There should be a post coming out tonight from our very own admin member, Mike Matthews, a.k.a. Peaceful Explosion. Sad, sad times, Dan. But Daytona, any fond memories for yourself?
Oh, I've always hated this track.
Fair enough.
Passion. I detest it. But for me, the 24-hour around here was good fun.
Yeah,
in the
you snoring on stream.
Porsche. Yeah, that was great fun. Overall, for Project Cars, I still think it's the charity run that we did on the North Schleifer.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And obviously for me, it was probably the last race of the season against Andy in the McLaren. One race down to whoever could pull it off in the snow was very much a fond moment for myself. But the most emotional one was probably not kill in the GT5s. Yourself, Mathew?
Favourite Daytona moment? Fury going around the outside of you and Andy at the bus stop chicane and at the little left-hand kink. It is one of my favourite moments of Daytona. Of course, the Daytona 24-hour with that Madman Mazda. Did all 24 hours. But it's green and go for round 23. Look at Kelly from the middle of the pack. He gets a better launch and up bar on this rolling start, and they're already in the wall. And Kelly, that's not what he wanted to do, but Tibbs around the outside leads into turn one. Stelzloff and Dean Wasocki are off as well. There is pandemonium in the background. There's another car round. Max and Tibbs now side by side. Max gets back in front, and Tibbs, he's got the car underneath him. Maxo back in front into turn four from Argent, Shane, Welshie, Smithy down from P10 up to P6. Bryn from 12th to 7th.
Steady on the throttle, guys. Steady on the throttle. You've got to take it easy on the first couple of laps. It is still very wet. Kelly and Ugbar just came together. Magnetized one another. Max is though losing the position as Exit Tips comes back. The Porsche has taken up the fight between the Audi. They want to be top dog in the Volkswagen group. Which one's going to be top dog? Is it Audi or is it going to be Porsche? Exit Tips is coming back at Max once again.
Welshie and Shane in the background had a bit of a wiggle, and Welshie is fully round, and now everybody comes flying past him. He rejoins before Leon Fernie gets there. Max is back ahead of Exit Tips, but this is where you feel that the Porsche is just going to pull on the Audi of Max Mulder. Then on the straight, here they come in the slipstream. It's 2.5 tenths. It's dropping. Raises a little bit actually there. It's now under 2 tenths. It's 1.5 tenths here. And here we go. Down towards the bus stop. Max goes defensive. Tibbs will patiently sit and wait. Argy Bargy P3 though. Bryn's got the 2 Audio Sport cars behind him. And in terms of the constructors battle, the 3rd to 8th, all the teams fighting flat second place spot. Dean at the back ahead of Stelzloff. Tibbs lost a bit of time through the bus stop though, Dan. But watch him gain on Max Mulder here.
Yeah, it looks like Max has had a better run through the chicane, and you can see that already. Exit Tips is dragging that Audi back in. The Audi is very slow in a straight line. It's got enough on the Porsche. I think the Mercedes, it would just get out dragged. But Max has just got enough. He has to make sure that he nails the bus stop, but he's gone wide. He's gone very wide.
He has indeed. Tibbs goes a little wide as well, and Max then comes back through on Exit Tibbs, and Max retakes the lead of this race. Both fighting for certain honours in this race today. Argy Bargy and Shane, they're well in contention here for a podium, but Tibbs, he's looking racy with Max down, and this is a great start to the race. As you see Tibbs there using that second yellow curb, that is completely acceptable, and that is Smithy round. A bit of a Rainmeister has had a spin at turn 4.
Yeah, it's had a little bit of a spin, but right now it's the fight to keep an eye on is between these two, Argent and Shane. Who's going to be the better one out of the two? That's the question, as Stelzloff is already into the pit. Max is now starting to extend his gap. Sounds a little bit slow behind as KLF probably carrying damage from the start with Ugbar, but Welshie now in that scrap. Dean's catching on. Smith has regained his position. Momentum, and is trying to get on the back of these guys. The top 4 have shot off.
Yeah.
The rest of the pack, Kelly's gone round. Or he's gone wide.
Yeah, he went a little deep there, and I love that camera angle. That's one of my favourite camera angles. Right then, Max to Tibbs, 1.2 seconds. But this is where Tibbs then will really, even out that slipstream, will start to gain this back. He has better top speed than the Audi. Or will he? As he has a huge wiggle in the bus stop. And there goes RG. There goes Shane. And Tibbs is Kylie Minogue. And spinning. Oh, God, that's your dad's joke. Oh, wow. I've commentated too much with your dad there.
Monkey Boy!
He's not even
gone
made
straight
the
on
bus
the
stop, yeah.
He's going to have to yield the time for that. He's going to have to, and I think Leon Fernie is going to get the run on him, but obviously being in the Audi, he's just going to be able to just pull him in, and that's about as far as he's going to get.
Tibbs then down to P4, and he's 9 seconds behind Max. He's got a lot of work to do, and here's Max then going to be on for another race win. Here comes Argentine Shane, though. Into turn 1 they come again. And, oh, that's very deep from Shane. Hang on to it. He does just about, and manages to get it, through the corner then, as Monkey manages to stay ahead of Leon Fernie. Dean and Welshie now 7th and 8th. Ukbar and Kelly. What's happened to them? Oh, Monkey sideways.
Monkey's round. Dean's getting contact from Smithy here, and Smithy is defending for his life here. And Welshie's round as well. They're all going round at turn 1 here, struggling for grip by the looks of things, and Smithy and Dean are like, well, thank you very much, boys. We'll have that. As the 2 Porsches come flying through.
Ukbar's gone into the pits as well, a bit earlier than the pit window, but at the end of lap 2, Ukbar is in, as is KLF. So they've clearly got some damage to fix on that car, and that is a shame, because I'm sure they'd have wanted to pit later on in this race. Right then, there comes Argy Bargy. You see, bit of a twitch into the corner, as there was from Shane. Just lost a bit of ground to Max Mulder. Here comes exit Tibbs, and he flies towards the oval once again. And you can't really tell the rain from this camera angle at the moment. We'll see it as it pans round in just a second, but it is absolutely bucketing it down. And Dean is now trying to get side by side with Smithy into the braking zone here then.
There's a nasty puddle on the right-hand side as these guys obviously try and take the natural racing line, which is on the right-hand side. They take that line, but there's a massive puddle just sat there waiting for them to be dragged into the corner as Max now tries to gain his advantage on Arjun. Arjun obviously pulling away from Shane, but Shane's just keeping him a second's distance. There's Smithy trying to defend from Dean and Welshie as well, as KLF is only now leaving the pits. He had some major damage, but he manages to stay ahead of Stealth Off as Ukbar has managed to stay quite a bit away from Kelly after that pit stop.
Yeah, I wonder if Football will have to provide evidence of his early pit stop, as will Stealth Off and obviously Kelly. But Shane then gaining a little bit on Arjun. Actually lost not even half a tenth that last lap, but they're both losing a lot of time to Max Mulder, Dan, and the rain just looks like it's yielded a little bit as we come into this one. No, might have just been the camera angle then, as Max now is 3 seconds up the road and is 10 seconds clear of Tibbs. And I didn't think we expected this, but the Porsche guys have had a torrid run tonight. They've all spun, they've all crashed. It has been chaos.
Yes, indeed. And look at Welshie. Look at the pace of the Porsche according to the Acura. He tries to go around the outside of the turn 1, but can't get the job done. Dean holds his line, and you see there, Welshie goes a little bit wide. Now it's time for Monkey Boy to get involved.
That was fair play from Dean there. Kept his line, and Welshie had to go the long way around, and he could not make it stick then, as Tibbs actually slower than the Acura and the Ferrari in front of him last time around. Here, though, is KLF. And
moment. He's at a moment now. Monkey Boy's looking to make a move on Welshie. This game right now is all about who can keep it on track now. The 2 Porsches at the back of the pack now with Stelsloff and Kelly are just trying to keep on the lead lap as much as they possibly can. As Monkey Boy sliding that Porsche all over the shot.
Really wants to make sure it gets through that corner as quick as possible. Now these two are gaining on the back of Smithy. So Dean loses 2 places then in this race already then. And it's Max Mulder who's on the back of Stelsloff to put a lap on Stelsloff in this race. But it's lap 4, and I don't think he's going to be able to. I think he's going to struggle at the moment. Might get him on the infield, but just look.
Is there a clear line starting to show?
I thought that. I thought the rain was slowing, but I'm not too sure if the rain is slowing. No, it's absolutely tipping it down still. But yeah, I thought there was a clear line. Well,
oh, Max has missed the corner. Oh, and I've changed to the wrong driver.
It's not the spray. It's definitely not the spray. Argent has pulled a bit of a gap out over Shane now. So Shane had a moment in terms of that last lap. Very twitchy and slidey through that first corner then. And Welshie's got past Smithy, has he? No, not yet caught Smithy. Watch the closing speed here then. This is the difference of Porsche versus Acura. As the pit window is open and opened at the end of lap 4, so the drivers can pit freely.
You don't even need a toe. Now. Look at this.
Oh, he's lifted. He's lifted.
Obviously, wet conditions, you do have to be a lot more cautious going into these overtakes. And Welshie just playing it smart there as Monkey Boy. I think had a wiggle going into the entry, but I think Welshie's played that smart. He had a better run.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, he's unable to making it. Oh, this Monkey Boy is literally just drifting everywhere.
Dean then loves a good long pit stop. First man in at the end of lap 4. He's now down in ninth place and he's into the pit lane then. So what will Dean do after his pit stop? He'll be the first man to pit inside the window. Ukbar, Kelly and Stelstoff have all not pitted yet. Bryn having a torrid time of it in the wet weather at the moment, and Max Mulder here being held a little bit by KLF. And don't forget, blue flag rules in GT3s mean that Kelly does not have to move out the way. He is entitled to keep his line. What he cannot do is defend from the car behind us. Monkey again, sideways, coming through onto the oval. And Welchie now tucks underneath Smithy, and that is job done. Can Monkey Boy get it done as well? As Maxem, still behind the Porsche, really tucked up to the back bumper of it then, as the rain looks like it's stopped.
Does look like it's eased off a little bit. I don't think it's going to dry massively quickly though. It's too cold really, as Kelly is literally trying to fight to stay on the lead lap. And Max is going to have to try and play this a little bit smart. He has done so, and has managed to get the switch on Kelly, and through he goes. Argent just in the background. Shane has just had a big moment, and into the wall he goes.
That's at Peaceful Explosion's favourite point to crash.
Another moment as well. Welshie did get managed past Smithy, and him and Monkey Boy have both dropped it in the chicane.
Yeah, they have.
And Smithy's halfway around the banking.
You're right. They are some 7 seconds behind Smithy here, so it's not gone well for them. Dean's come out P11. Exit Tibbs has had another moment then, because he was only 10 seconds behind Max. He's now 17. Argy Bargy must be wondering what he's done today to be in this position in P2 at the moment, because
Look at this. There's no rain.
Oh, that sounds like this rain. Is that the spray from the car, right?
That's the spray from the car. It's got to be. Because there's no rain.
No, there's not. There's the odd spot here and there, but there is barely any rain. Oh, Kelly!
Yeah, he's had another moment, Kelly. He's not enjoying this race for sure. He's going to be throwing this one out the window.
The pace in practice, but then with this track, and Dan, if it is stopping raining, the track is just going to get drier and drier and drier. Who does that favour now? As Kieran Argent's lost a bit of time to Max on this lap then. And we see, as Monkey Boy comes through his shot and through the hairpin towards the oval, he comes once again. As Kelly's on the back, 2 battered Porsches here. Kelly there, 2 wheels on the grass, 2 wheels on the yellow part of the curb. Bryn in the pits at the end of lap 5. So Bryn is in and may get overtaken by these 2 in the pits. Now, if it has stopped raining, this is a real gamble from Bryn to put the slicks on. But being that far down the grid, you have nothing to lose. Is that the tactic he's going? Because that lollipop man has lifted his lollipop, and that is a long old pit stop.
Yeah, maybe he's just clipped the wall. I just don't think it's dry enough yet. If we
oh no, it's 100% not dry enough. There's still too much spray.
You'd lose more time than you would actually gain from being on the slicks. Yes, you'd be quick at a certain point, but you'd still just lose time trying to gain that advantage. A lot of these guys will just go as far as they can. If we go on board with Max, there's still spray, especially with this game. The people who are not new to it, obviously, where have you been for the last 5 years? But you know when it's getting dry because the spray just disappears. Yeah. So at the minute, there's still puddles forming, and Max is still there, still getting caught out by puddles. So it's still not dry enough yet for slicks. It's still wet weather conditions. So these guys will just keep running and running until they decide it's better for slicks.
I know one man who's definitely pitted for slicks there, and that is Smithy, because he has to set the pit strategy up. He can't do it on his D-pad on the pad. So I think that is a pit stop for slick tyres.
It was a quickish stop, so...
Well, we shall see.
We will see, but yeah, Smithy in early. That is a gamble, especially on the pad around this track.
I don't think people have much to lose. Although, Dan, look, the spray's gone. Has Smithy just pulled a blinder? Has Bryn just pulled a blinder? There's a little bit here.
It still sounds like it's too wet. I still, in my opinion,
it's too wet.
It.
No, I wouldn't risk it at the moment. It is still too wet at the moment.
Where are these guys? They're behind Leon. We go on board with Leon and we go through the bus stop chicane. This is where it's going to be the worst. As we go through here, there's still shiny through there. There's still puddles to the left-hand side. There's the puddle there. It's actually not that bad. The bus stop is clearing. So we'll see what state Smithy's in. And Bryn. Is Bryn struggling for grip? No.
Well, if he did pick for the slicks, he doesn't look like he struggled through there, but did tiptoe a little bit. Shane's in now. Was Bryn the dummy? Was Bryn the dummy to say, Shane, it's dry enough. Get yourself in the box, mate. I wonder. Well, we'll see the lap times maybe start to tumble. We'll see the lap times start to come down. As Smithy there has a spin, that's put him in the wall. And he's got to get that one spun around. As here then come the two Porsches of Welshie and Monkey Boy. Who's got the better pace as they come onto the banking of the start straight? Welshie just in front, and you can just see how evenly matched these two cars are without the slipstream. Monkey Boy, yes, quicker on the lap time, but in terms of being at top speed, Welshie manages to hang on, and Monkey Boy thinks I'm going to create a different turn one for Daytona.
Yeah, definitely. Shane's in the pits.
Max,
this has got to be for slicks.
Max purple first sector, Ukbar purple middle sector. Obviously, Max hasn't got there yet, so the track drying and drying and drying. Shane, Bryn and Smithy then, have they pulled a blinder by pitting for the slick tyre then?
Well, Smithy's got damage now.
Yeah. We'll have to keep our eye on Bryn's pace. Bryn 2:11 last lap.
Yeah, he's on slicks. You can hear him.
Tiptoeing.
He's so cautious on and he's just touched that puddle, and it's just sent him wide. I still think it's too early for slicks.
Slough in sector 1 last time around was Bryn.
Yeah, but I still think I think one more lap, and it is literally in that prime window. One or two laps.
Well, let's keep our eyes on it. And Max drops into the 49s for the first time in this race. There is Smithy, as that is Smithy having a bit of a moment. That, I believe, is Max up front lapping about to put a lap on Dean Wasocki then. It is indeed, and Dean stays to the outside. Max goes up the inside.
Max is now in the 49s. So a fast lap round here in the dry is around a 46, 45 range. The lap record actually set in Pro-Am, I believe, is a 46. Yeah. So these boys were doing 45s in practice. So I think when we start seeing Max in the 48s, I think that's when we're going to be looking at slick tyres.
Well, let's keep our eyes on the lap times of all the drivers then as they come around the back part of the circuit. Bryn's actually coming towards the line. So what's his lap time going to be? 53.7.
He's 10 seconds faster than his last. His best lap, he's 10 seconds faster, and he's got grip in turn 1. He's got grip in turn 1. You can see there, the problem is, you're playing a very dangerous game if you are on the slicks, because you do have to stay in that train track. He goes wide ever so slightly, and he just tiptoe
tentative
now.
Yeah, tentative to get that power down, and you hear it.
She's in.
Yeah, I've just jotted that one, and that again, look, a little long old stop, that one. I wonder if that is Ukbar, though, by the way. He pitted before the pit window, so we'll have to provide evidence of damage, but he's up to now P6, but I imagine he's still going to be on that wet tyre. Keep an eye on the drivers' lap times as they're coming through. Everybody now starting to set green sectors as Dean, look that, the Acura sticking with Max Mulder in the slipstream, and Dean lifting off there just to make sure he doesn't unlap himself from Max. He's entitled to if he can pull away from Max, but obviously doesn't feel like he has to at the moment. Max has to pit and hasn't yet. I'm surprised Argent, being in the Acura, hasn't pulled the trigger. I really am surprised.
This is going to sound like a crazy one. Kelly, all the way that time ago, when he was in the pits, do you think he's on the slick? Or do you think he's on the wet? He's got to be on the wet, surely. I think
that was a massive gamble to repair damage and go slick. But if he did, fair play to him. We'll keep an eye on his lap time, though. The question is, Dan, is with it being cold, and there is still a lot of wetness around, even though there might be a racing line appearing, do you need to pit? I'm saying that's starting to look really dry now.
Well, we still got 10 laps. We're not even... No. So 17, 16. So we're only now halfway, really, and it's drying. It's getting to the point that slicks is the right way to go. Now, eventually, you will just burn the wets out. Bryn crosses the line. He doesn't improve on his best.
Purple sector 1. He's pitted, let's not forget, the lap after Bryn. So if Shane's on the slicks as well, purple first sector. Shane is 1 minute 24, apparently, behind Max. Must have repaired some damage that he's had as well. He was heavily damaged. But is he going to try and come back and maybe gain some places at the end of this race? Look, he's 1.1 up again on his best lap. Is Shane at the minute?
The leaders have got to time this right, especially Max. He needs to make sure that he times this perfectly. He can't afford to lose any time to the likes of Shane. Shane, I think, is really his only threat at this stage. Unless Ugbar went slicks, but again, it's a massive gamble.
Yeah.
Both Kelly and Ugbar went slicks that early. Welshie is now, I think, on slicks. It was such a long pit stop. He's possibly on no slick tyre. Exit Tibbs there, just going through. Is he going to gamble soon?
I think if you're Tibbs or Argent, get in the pits now. I'm going to say Max a 49.4. I am very surprised if we don't see Argent or Tibbs come into the pits this lap. They could really pull a strategy here and maybe take the race win away from Max. At the minute, he's got an 8.5 second lead. The race is there to be had at the moment. And, well, second and third place don't seem to be wanting to take that opportunity. Welshie to the line. That, then, I believe, was his out lap. It's a long out lap, so he must have crossed the line when he was in the pit lane. Because a 3-minute one is a long old outlap. Bryn, though,
he's on slicks. He's on slicks. He's got to be. He went wide in turn 1. I was expecting him to come flying up behind exit Tibbs, but yeah, he just went wide in turn 1. Got onto the dirty part of the track. Bryn now, I think, is on slicks towards the line. 55 is his best last lap. He's now on a 52. It's still not rapid, but it's getting there. Argent, 50s. So we're getting to a stage where the slicks are now starting to match the wets.
I think Argy Bargy needs to pull. If Max doesn't pit, I think Argent has to. I really do. Just to get anything from this race. Get on them a lap earlier.
3.7 up.
And his last lap was his best lap of a 52 dead. So this is around that 48-second territory mark, Dan. Max only a tenth upon his best of a 49.4. So that'll put him in the 49.3. Shane, purple sector 1 yet again, actually matched Dean Wasocki. He was actually a tenth quicker than Max through the middle sector. So here comes Shane then. Obviously, it's not about the lap times, but 3.8.
48.1.
1 minute 48.1. We are at that crossover point, and Max stays out. Argent for me, Dan, if he's to salvage anything from this race, has to pit now.
I think the same with Tibbs. These two.
They're not. He's not. I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
The Tibbs can pull a blinder here. He 100%. Can pull an absolute blinder. The Shane's in the box seat right now. Now he's got the slick tyres up to temperature. Now he's got the clean air. And the sun's coming out. So if I was Tibbs, I'd be coming in now.
You have to. You have to come in now. And I do not get why these top three have not pitted. They must be thinking these tyres can get to the end of this race. Argent, for me, should have pitted last lap. Should have pitted at the end of the last lap. Get it in. Get it on the slicks. And go for it. Shane up on his delta yet again as he comes onto the oval part of the circuit. He's done the fastest lap of the race now on a track that he's just getting quicker and quicker and quicker. He's gaining on Ugbar, and this Ferrari Ginetta, we know the Ferrari's a bit of a quicker car than the Ginetta, but this will show us how quick Shane can catch onto the back of Ugbar. Then Bryn's coming towards the line now. We'll keep an eye on what his last lap time was. There's Leon Fernie. He's yet to pit a 52.5. Bryn to the line. Not really setting the sector times alive like his teammate. 57.8. So must have had a problem on this last lap. I know he's struggling around this circuit.
Is he on the slicks or not? I don't think he is. I think Shane's the only one on slicks. Monkey Boy has bailed now. I think Shane's the only one on slicks.
And Welshie.
And possibly Welshie.
58, yeah.
His lap times aren't, neither's Bryn. Their lap times aren't representing the slick runners. Shane is the only one that's represented slick runner times now. I think now, of anybody needs to pit was the lap ago. Now is the perfect cross point as Monkey Boy is in the pits and he's changing.
Back-to-back
he's
48s.
But that was a quick stop for Monkey. Did he change tyres? That's Max going through again.
Well, I don't get this, Dan. That's Dean Wasocki dropping down. Dean's already pitted, so he must have not pitted for the wets early on. Argent's in as well. I think Argent's left this a lap too late. I think Argent should have come in the lap earlier. But hey,
he knows he can't beat.
Oh, he's not called his pit crew out.
I think Max and Tibbs have missed the trick here.
Yeah, I agree.
Where's Shane?
Yeah, and the worst thing is as well is Leon Fernie's got to pit.
Middle sector.
Leon
He's matching again.
He's past Ugbar. Shane's got past Ugbar. Max is wide.
Max has gone deep.
Is that to cool the tyres down?
To put it this way, Max is 0.8 a lap slower than Shane. He's lost 0.6 this lap. Shane is matching his lap times. So right now, Max is going to lose less than more than 2 seconds just this lap.
And the fact, because it's such a fast circuit as well, Dan, is you actually lose a lot of time in the pit lane because of the speed of the circuit, don't you? You don't lose a lot for the pit stop because the rate of knots the drivers are going around. You lose a lot of time on track. Look at the grip Shane has got. He's really throwing it through the bus stop now. Shane is a-coming. Max has left it too late. Dean's now down to 13th place. Welshie's now in the 1 minute 49s. So clearly Welshie pitted for slicks. I think Argent's left it 2 laps too late, personally. But
he's got
we
a
will
good
see.
gap over Shane. He's got a good gap over Shane, but has he actually put slicks on? That's the question.
He's got to have done. I hate to think why you wouldn't. I know he's got a good gap over Shane, but I hate to think why you wouldn't put them on. Shane now is in the 47s now. It is time. It has never been more time than this. Max is coming in.
He needs to get it stopped, though. He needs to get it stopped. It's still wet pit lane, wet pit lane, wet pit lane. And he just gets it nailed.
He does indeed. So Max is in.
I think...
Tibbs is still going. Argent's had a moment. Whoa, Bryn!
Oh, there goes Bryn.
Whoa, huge moment for Bryn there.
The thing is, though, Shane's now got used to these tyres. He knows where the grip levels
Up
are.
to
He
temperature,
knows, he knows where the puddles are.
Monkey
He
Boy's
knows
back
where
in.
he's going to be.
Oh, what's happened to Monkey Boy? Oh,
He's got damage.
yeah, that's what's happened to Monkey Boy.
Also,
13 started this race, sorry. So top 7 cannot qualify for race 2.
Everyone's having moments, right? Everyone's having these moments. Kelly's minding his own business, working his way back up the order.
Yeah.
Max has gone already.
Yeah,
Has
Max
he
has
changed
gone.
tyres?
Argent's just coming to the bus stop. I don't know, Well, he was 8 seconds ahead of Argent.
That was a quick
Argent's
stop.
now on the banking. Is Argent with Shane? Is Shane on the back of Argent now? Oh, now.
Leon's
Oh, that's Leon Fernie. Yep, Leon's lagging out. I assume we're going to lose Leon Fernie from this race in a moment because that dot slash will stay off of him. We do lose Leon Fernie from this race with lag then.
Exit Tibbs comes out and he's ahead of Argent. Obviously, Argent... Oh, no, he's not ahead of Argent. Argent's had a moment. I don't know if Exit Tibbs has put slicks... I don't know if these guys are putting slicks on.
I don't know if Max has put slicks on.
We'll see the lap times, but Shane was in the pits for a while unless he had damage. But Argent's... they're all relatively similar, but I don't know. 14 seconds, is that right?
This is his outlap though, isn't it? So...
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out if they're on slicks or wets. I don't know.
Let's see. We'll keep our eyes on
Shane's
the sector
not had
times,
the best
I suppose.
lap this lap.
Sector 2 will be the telltale sign. Kelly's up on his best lap. That's a shame to lose Leon Fernie. So that promotes everybody up a spot then. Max Mulder, is he on them slick tyres? Just keeps dipping a wheel under them yellow lines every now and again. Just needs to be careful of that one. Still sounds a little greasy underneath coming through.
Obviously, what we see in here is a lot different to what the guys...
Yes.
I think he's on slicks. 14 seconds. He's up quite a bit on the middle sector.
Purple middle sector, Dan, on the timing screen. So yeah.
He's on slicks.
I think Argent's missed a trick there. Then I think Argent should have pitted 2 laps early.
Shane's touched the puddle.
Yeah, just starting to have a few moments now. Then this could bring Ukbar back into play. Kelly's up to P6. And he's some 24 seconds off the back of Ukbar. Kelly can't qualify for race 2. The top 7 cannot qualify for race 2. As 13 drivers started this race. So at the minute, Welshie, Stelsoft, Bryn, Monkey Boy and Dean can qualify. And Monkey Boy and Dean fighting over 11th place down the order. Then Maxen looks like he's going to take another race win in this one.
The reason I've gone on board with Kelly is that we want to look to the right-hand side. This is where some of the slick runners are getting caught out. There's a puddle right there. And you see there, Kelly staying to the inside, knows that puddle stays to the left and avoids it. The guys who are running the slicks, they do not want to be touching that puddle whatsoever because they will go round.
Yeah, they will indeed then. Shane then wins this race. He'll equal Fury's record of 12 race wins in a season.
You mean Max?
Sorry, if Max wins this race, he will equal Fury's record of 12 race wins in a season in his purple sector 1 of 43.3. The problem is, if he wants to beat Fury's record, he's got to start behind a few Porsches, one at least of Monkey Boy, who could have that chance of getting pole position in race 2 then. 18 seconds over Argent he's got. We're on lap 15 or 17. This race is kind of flew by with little action and more dramas.
Yeah, I think everyone's just having their own little moments, making their own little mistakes instead of actual on-track racing. And I think that's the difference. Who could be the best out of the wet conditions? As I think now they're onto the slick tyre, they get into a more comfortable position. As Dean has caught Monkey Boy.
He's gaining on Monkey Boy, isn't he, as they come down towards the oval part of the circuit. That is not where Monkey Boy wants to be, and they come flying in. Kelly, he's back in the pit. Now, that's an interesting call from Kelly.
Is that... I just noticed, is it automatic pit lane?
I think it might be. I might need to change that for race 2. I'll have a look at that one. That's my bad. Either way. Kelly, 8th place.
I know what Kelly's done here.
Yeah, I've just clicked on for that. He's going for the fastest lap, isn't he?
No.
Now, he's playing the Dan Unorthodox Tactics game. It's a quality game. It's available in all good retailers for Christmas. Beautiful game to play. No, it's not against the rules. No one said it was. But Kelly then will have to qualify for race 2, meaning that Welshie and Smithy cannot qualify for race 2. And here they are battling for 6th and 7th as Max then is on lap 16. It's Project Cars, Dan. It does it all the time, doesn't it, towards the end of the race? So, yeah.
Come on, Dean. Catch Monkey Boy.
Yeah, I lost my bet, but what I do get, though, Fury's granddad, is the fact that I win my bet. My Monkey Boy's gone deep, and here comes Dean on the inside. Monkey Boy's got to give him the space, and Dean Wasocki is looking to get through a Cora versus Porsche. And Porsche is always going to win around this circuit. But Dean really pressuring the back of Monkey Boy now. Smithy has been overtaken by Welchie and Max. A 46 dead. Looks like he's going to take a clean sweep in this first race. And Shane, though, in the 46s as well. Oh, Smithy!
What a run there.
Yeah. That's a great bit of driving from Smithy. I get a feeling that Welchie's going to absolutely out-drag him. Can Dean get the job done? There he goes. Look, that Porsche just pulls and pulls and pulls, and Smithy now needs to just tuck behind and sit and wait. And here he goes. As Dean's looking up the inside, is he onto the oval? No, Monkey Boy defends that, runs a little deep. Dean being able to keep it tight to the Monkey Boy, and I suppose that's just the difference of the Acura and the Porsche in these conditions. Max pulling even further ahead of the cars in front. Shane 11 seconds off the back of Tibbs, so Tibbs will be on the podium for his home race. Dean then, I think he's going to now start to feel that losing battle against the Porsche here.
Yeah, that's what Smithy now. He just needs to, if he can nail this first sector and stick with the Porsche.
He's on the last lap. He's at turn 4. There we go.
Don't worry, I've got an eye on him. I know where he is.
That's fine.
Monkey Boy's at a moment. Dean's back in
question for you, Dan. Kelly.
More importantly, Monkey Boy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was oblivious to that. I was thinking of something with Kelly there.
This is
huge.
This is very big.
This is huge.
Especially for Monkey Boy's pride.
Going
into the
days.
ACC new season, looking at the back of the car he possibly could be driving for next season.
Look at the difference in the speed there. The Acura just does not have the top speed that the Porsche does. Dan, I was thinking of another thing Kelly may have done here. Fastio Lapio.
I don't know. Max seems to have it well under control.
Oh, Dean stayed in front there. That's great driving.
They're in trouble now because they got Shane flying right up behind them. And they're too busy racing one another.
Shane 46.9 again on the last lap. Max a 48.1. He's kind of took his foot off the gas a little bit, but can afford to. Shane in the 46s. Wonder what Kelly will do there. But Max Mulder for the final time in race 1 to the bus stop chicane. Come on, lads. Daytona, last race. There it goes! Monkey Boy is off! And I know he'll be able to hear us, and I'm sure there'll be a few curse words said there about himself, but Monkey Boy has gone round. It's going to be P12 for him, but it's going to be win number 12 this season. And it's going to be, more importantly, win number 49 for the Audi. Max Mulder will take round 23. Your champion has won 5 races on the bounce. Apologies. Max Mulder is your race winner. I tell you what, though, Dan. If you offered Argent to second place at the beginning of tonight, he'd have bit your hand off at that, I reckon.
He's just kept it on track, kept it where he needed to be, didn't make any mistakes, didn't make any errors. And his closest rival, Shane, tried to gamble earlier on. It was working, but he just a bit too early, I think. Yeah,
a bit too early indeed. As Argent crosses the line then and takes second place. Tibbs, great result for him. Third place, another podium on his home soil in this one. So a great result for Tibbs there. What that does do, though, Dan, is that gives Argent a massive boost into the second race over Shane in terms of that second place in the championship. As well as for the SFA Acura Racing team, the other team that scored quite well there was the MC Motorsport boys. Here comes Shane then. This is going to be P4 for him in this one, and a great result for Shane. And then Upbar is going to finish P5 just behind, but obviously That'll be pending an investigation. Kelly in the end, 9th place, a 49.1 he managed to get into. We are just awaiting on Welsh, who is down in 6th. Brins finished the race then.
Tell you what,
P10.
a great little race from these two, to be fair. Welshie and Smithy, they have their own little tussle and fight, but obviously a great recovery from Mukbar. We'll see what was going on there. Was he still on the wet tyre? I think he was. It fit 49, where everyone else was doing 48s, 46s. I still think he was on the wets.
Yeah.
But either way, Welshie to home for 6th and 7th for Smithy as well. Smithy was up there in P4 for a while until he had just had one little spin, and it ruined his race.
It ruined his race, and that is a shame. But P7 nonetheless for Smithy will be a fantastic result, and I'm sure he will take this one. And that is your final classification. Max Mulder, the fastest lap. Argent on the podium with exit tips as well. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes' time with driver interviews and the final qualifying of the season. Don't go anywhere.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. far away, you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn.
Sport then here for the second race and the final race of the evening, the final race of this championship, the final race of Pro-Am on Project Cars. We hopefully will get Leon Fernie and Utbar and DJ Phil back in. Top two in with us for a quick interview. The championship tables look like this. Max Mulder, obviously your champion. Argent now 14 points clear of Shane. Monkey Boy stays P4 with Kelly P5. Utbar's in 6th with Rabbit Joe 7th. Dean Wasaki back up into 8th ahead of Bryn by a point. DJ Phil in 10th with Smithy now a point behind him in 11th. Leon Fernie in 12th. Welshie 13th. Exit Tibbs. Then Stealth Soft Bozzy Boy bringing up the rear. And the teams looks like this. SRL Racing Team already are Constructors champions. The SFA Acora Racing though second place, 10 clear of the Super Crash Bros, and now are some 29 clear of Audio Sport and 12 Pros. Terminal Velocity Racing are P5, Wakasaki Racing P6, a point ahead of MC Motorsport with Simplay Racing bringing up the rear. And we'll start then with Argy Bargy. No Tibbs in for an interview I don't think he has a headset, is what he's told me in the past. But we'll start with you, Arjun, and I'm sure you are probably the most happiest man in this party at the moment.
Yeah, not going to lie, wasn't expected. I think the rain in qualifying definitely helped me out in terms of grid position. But like I say every week, just get my head down and just get the laps in and do what I can.
Now, obviously, you've struggled a lot in practice this week. Going into this one, you've known that the Acura is lacking on top speed. You kind of knew, looking at the calendar, that where the Acura is going to be great, where it's going to struggle. This all week has been a real frustration for you, trying to get the best lap times as possible. So you really take that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Take P2. I would have took a P3 in all honesty before Tibbs had a moment in front of me. I was just literally sitting behind the car and just letting it carry me along to try and keep the captain behind, but they didn't need it.
Shane pressured you at the end. Talk us through the late call. Why did you leave it so late for the soft tyres? Me and Dan were screaming, thinking of you to undercut Max, but you seemed to leave it really late there.
Luckily enough, I had Smithy in headset, and he was saying to me the soft tyres weren't getting warm, barely going out of blue. And I said, I'm not going to come in until they get at least a bit of colour in them. And obviously, it got to a point where I had to come in.
Sorry to come in on that one, but don't you think, obviously, Smithy being a pad runner and yourself being on the wheel, would you not have thought that maybe the wheel would have generated more heat? Because obviously, that's what the wheel tends to do better than the pad.
Maybe. To be honest with you, I was keeping also an eye on Shane's lap times on the dashboard in front of me, and he wasn't really lapping much quicker than I was. So until he started lapping quicker is when I decided to make the decision.
Race 2 then, buddy. You're going to be towards the back end of the grid as always. It's going to be a difficult one for you, but what can you do?
Like I say every week, just take people when I can, and just get high up if I can.
Well done, mate.
What will be.
Well done, buddy. We'll let you get back to it.
Cheers.
And we move to Max Mulder then, who takes his 12th win of the season. And Dan kind of said at the beginning of the stream that he wasn't feeling very confident until he told you some setup changes. So that must have made you a bit more easier to get around.
Yeah, that helped me a lot. I didn't go the setup I wanted, so I asked him a little bit, and yeah, he helped me a lot.
P1 again. Tibbs pushed you hard though at the beginning of that race. You must have thought that the Porsche had your number.
Yeah, at the start I was like, oh, this is gonna be a hard one. But after some laps, he made the mistake, and then I was like, okay, now I have a gap, so I get this.
12 race wins to your name. Sorry, I was just reading something there. 12 race wins to your name this season. One more breaks to record. One more race win tonight. Obviously gives Audi its 50th over the Porsche. Can you do it?
Yes.
I'm loving that confidence. Race 2 then coming up. You're going to be starting by the very back of the pack. What can you do from there? What's your sort of... Talk us through what your race is going to be.
Just looking how everyone is going to hit each other and go off track, and then I can... just get the win.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, Max. Go and get him.
Thanks.
So, Dan, 2 drivers. One very confident. One will just take what he can.
Yeah. I'm in... right now, Mathew, I'm in a bit of 2 minds and a bit of debate myself right now.
Full name in me.
I am, because I feel like this moment right here, right now, I'm in like a very strong debate. I've helped drag this Audi with the help of Max and Jamie and others to get it to 49 race wins. So I don't know how many race wins I have with it, but I think 4, 3, or whatever it is. 5 race wins in the Audi. So I've helped dragged it up to this point. But at the same time, I've had a lot of success in the Porsche.
Yeah.
Taking 2 titles in the Porsche. So it's got to a point now. I don't care. I'm obviously I care about what the drivers do, but I'm more important about what's going to happen between this car and this car. And I think I'm gonna have to go my old faithful ways. I kind of want the Porsche to finally get it. Maybe the Audi being one away is the kick up the bum it needed. And already I made a little chuckle as you were doing your interviews. This man has got himself into 44s.
Yeah, and it would have been interesting to see what this man would have done in the first race, Dan, because we know Joe loves Daytona. He picked this circuit. We know he really wants to do well around here. The problem for him is that internet really didn't help him, did it? But at 44.7, Dean currently on the front row of the grid, 6 tenths quicker than Kelly. Here comes KLF. That gap now goes down to 3 tenths. Dean still out-qualifying Monkey Boy as well by 8 tenths of a second. So Monkey Boy, can he out-qualify? If Monkey Boy gets out-qualified by the Acura on 1 lap pace.
And also, by the way, he had a toe off Kelly the last lap. He had a toe, so...
Yeah, it's going to be hard not to chuckle a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm in two minds. I would like the Audi to get his 50th win. I would like the Porsche to get his 50th win. But right now, I kind of want the Porsche to do it just because, I don't know, 2 championships in the car. Rabbit Joe just crossing the exit pit line. Be careful about that, Joe. You might get... but, nah, I know Joe loves this place. When we did the 24 hours of Daytona, it was the first time I actually got to race Joe. Both of us went Porsche 911 GTEs. And he was catching me towards the I think it was like mid-session, and then he had an issue where he disconnected. So, yeah, I've seen firsthand that the Porsche is very quick around here.
It is indeed, and weather looks like it's brightening up. Weather looks like it's brightening up as well, Dan. So it looks like it's going to be a beautiful time. No DJ Phil, unfortunately, tonight. So we hope that Phil's well, and we send our love to DJ Phil's way. It is a shame he wasn't able to end the season with us. So DJ Phil, if you are watching, we hope you get. Hope everything's okay, buddy, and hope all is well with you. As Dean just drops 2 wheels below the yellow lines here.
I do want to say, DJ Phil, what a man, to be fair. Been here since season 1.
Yeah.
And with the most race appearances probably of anybody on Project Cars, he's pretty much entered near enough everything that's ever been on Project Cars that we've put on. And, yeah, top ups to him. But I think it's a shame that DJ Phil can finish out this season. But nonetheless, he's had some great wins as well in the McLaren. I remember those days. Yeah,
McLaren days, and before you joined,
Monkey Boy P3.
Monkey Boy P3 then, so now he's 2 tenths behind Dean. He took 2 race wins, did DJ Phil, in the wet at Monza in season 1. So, great to see Phil doing them bits there then. That then, you want some more stats being chucked your way? I want to chuck you some when I can find.
Slap me in the face with some stats.
I'm going to in a moment when I can find Max Mulder. Who's there? That is Max Mulder's 19th podium here at Simplay Motorsport. That is Archie Borgie's 40th podium here at Simplay Motorsport. That is Tibbs's, I've lost him now, 3rd podium at Simplay Motorsport. In terms of special appearances for drivers, there is none. Today there is one driver, tomorrow making his 100th appearance. And he's in this commentary box right now. That has flown by, really. 100 races. Say I only started in season 5. That has gone pretty quickly. Max Mulder then, 12 wins this season, gives him 16 overall, and Max Mulder getting pole position in that first race meant that Max Mulder's pole positions are 11 in his career. In terms of the car stats, the Mercedes-Benz, as we know there's none today, Porsche will not make, how many's out there on track? Actually, with Joe there, might actually make 100 appearances this season for the Porsche car. In terms of other cars, they're just kind of going to stay the same. The Acura, though, will go above the BMW in terms of all-time race appearances in GT3s. The Ginetta needs a pole position in this one, but no one can qualify in the Ginetta for it, so it will not get its 25th pole position. What a shame. Porsche Audi 1 win away. And if 3 Audis get on the podium here, Leon Fernie and Max Mulder, in fact, there's only 2. So if 1 Audi gets a podium tomorrow and 2 get a podium tonight, it could have its 100th podium. Dan Davis.
Is that a hint to say put it on the podium?
Not at all. Just to say as well, PN in the chat, one man who wants wants the Porsche to win is Emplava.
I think he wants more than anybody for the Porsche to win, but he's going to have to make a poster for the Audi because even if Max doesn't do it tonight, anything can still happen tomorrow night, especially with the weather forecast that we got. Myself, Jamie, there's 4 Audis tomorrow night. Myself, Jamie, Little Leach, and Biggs, all still capable of still getting a race win. So Little Leach, on the other hand,
Little Leach goes well.
We'll see. He does.
Little Leach goes well.
To be fair, in testing, he was actually quicker than me. So yeah, I can't really say much. This just shows how much I detest this track.
Indeed, it does. Leon Fernie's qualified 6th. Stelsoff has qualified 7th. Bryn has qualified P5 for this one. Monkey Boy can only manage P4, Dan.
Why could we not have gone to Texas? Texas is such a better track.
Oh, Texas is fantastic. I love Texas. I think Texas is fantastic.
Even the chassis cars have an advantage there.
Yeah,
Well, these two are tight. These two are tight. Kelly's down, and Dean was up by a tenth. This is going to be tight between these two. Kelly is. I think Kelly might lose second place here.
Do you know if Dean gets second place, that qualifies 2 Porsches. This could be mental. Dean to the line for the Acura. Yes, he does it. It's P2 and a front row start for Dean Wysocki. What a job from him there at the very end. And Kelly bails to the pits. It's going to be P3 for him and P4 for Monkey Boy. But wow, an Acura of Argent second row P3. And Dean Wysocki's Acura against 4 Porsches, sorry, because of Stealth Sloth, puts it on the front row. But Rabbit Joe takes a point for Porsche, and that does wonders for the Porsche, because it means now it's 1 pole position behind the Audi on 39. It'll want to be 1 win ahead of the Audi by the end of tonight. Rabbit Joe and Dean Wysocki on the front row. It's an Audio Sport and 2 old pros on the second row of Kelly and Monkey Boy. Row 3, Bryn and Leon Fernie. Row 4, Stealth Sloth and Uckball. Row 5, Tibbs and Smithy. Row 6, Argent and Shane. Row 7, Max Mulder and Welchie. Dan, for the final time this season, tip for the race win.
Excuse me. Rabbit Joe. Rabbit Joe.
Hard to look past him. Hard to look past him.
I think really Max from the back, possibly. But I think with the dry conditions, I don't think the Audi has any chance unless the guys just really mess it up. But I think Rabbit Joe's race to lose this one.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there, Dan.
We've properly cursed him now. So best of luck, Joe, on not finishing. Obviously, coming to the end of the season, Matt, Pro-Am as well, commentating with yourself. We might not be commentating in the new seasons, especially with new games available. It's been an honour. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Yeah.
But obviously, I want to ask you, driver of the season.
I've got a few. Max is obviously one that's up there. He's been so dominant. But Shane and Argent have really surprised me. Argent, especially in the Acura, we tipped Shane to do good things, and he has this season. So I'm going to give mine to Shane. As well as Max has done, we know Max's calibre. Argent, I think, at times has had bad time. Shane's had 5 race wins, and he's up there in 3rd. I'm going to give mine to Shane. Yourself?
Obviously, for me, I got to say Max. He's just been dominant. He's been a Fury season, and it's not like he's had an easy way of it. He has got some top drivers in here, with Kelly being in Pro, Rabbit Joe being in Pro, Monkey Boy, Argent, Bryn as well. But I want to put a massive honourable mention to Exit Tibbs as well.
Yeah, Tibbs, yeah. Comes in straight on the podium, straight on the pace, isn't he? And Dan, for one last time, it's green and it's go. And it is a great rolling start all the way cleanly. You see the Acura just start to struggle. Monkey Boy's got to get off the accelerator as Joe now leads into turn 1 from Dean, from Kelly, from Monkey Boy. Although Monkey Boy very, very wide, and that's Bryn trying to follow up the inside. Can't get through. Here is Exit Tibbs on the back of Stealth Sloth, and everybody through relatively cleanly at turn 1. And that, though, is a spinning Acura of Argy Bargy down to 14th place. He didn't even make turn 3, and he's got no real wing. Oh dear, it goes from bad to worse for him.
It does go from bad to worse. Max and Leon Fernie are on the move. I thought Max was up to P5 already, but obviously the wrong deliveries. But Max, he's got his lights on. He's already told me in the chat, said, vote for me for driver day because I've got this. I'm going for it. And he's going to be like a bull in a china shop. He's going to go for it. And Smithy is his first target, and he's eliminating him as quickly as he possibly can. Let's see how he does, as Dean now is actually sticking with Rabbit Joe at the minute. If he just sticks in his toe, he'll pull him around.
He will a bit here. Is Max Mulder is up ahead of Smithy. Smithy's actually dropped down to 13th place. So what has happened there? Hopefully no contact made. I think he did have a spin because Max looked past before we changed camera. But Joe from Dean, from Kelly, from Monkey, from Leon. Exit Tibbs sat 6th with Stealth Sloth 7th. And as they come to the bus stop for the first time in this one, Porsche versus Audi for 50 race wins. Joe wants his first race win of the season. Stealth Sloth there. Was that a bit of a flash to Max? No, that's Welchie, I think, giving Max a bit of a flash. Oh, the hurry up and move from Welchie there then.
I don't know if it was that. Maybe it was a push or a shove, maybe. Welchie maybe not too happy. We know Welchie, the Scots that he is, he's quite vocal. And he's right on the back of the Audi here. I think Max has had a lift there, Dan. No, I think that's genuinely the Audi's pace.
I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. I think Max had a lift there, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think Max came off the gas. It seemed to be a little slow mid-banking as Kelly then's trying to get alongside Dean Wasocki.
Oh.
And that's put Kelly in a wall. And that pretty much sums up KLF's season.
I don't know what happened now. I don't know if that was Dean or if that was Kelly, but either way, Kelly's ended up in the wall and he will not be happy whatsoever.
No, he'll be fuming with that one. And now, here comes Welshie and Max. They rub doors a little bit more here again. Welshie's going to have that inside line. Max tries to go right around the outside. He's now going to look up the inside for Kelly. Oh, as Kelly comes to defend, contact is made. And Max across the track and is nearly collected by a spinning, by a Scotsman coming through the corner. And that is a stricken Porsche on the infield.
Kelly's not going to be happy whatsoever. That is him probably done. Is he going to carry on going? Yes, he is. Shane's dropped back to the order as well. He's not really moved forward at all. Leon Fernie, though, is under attack by exit tips here. Porsche versus Audi. And you can just see the Porsche is just dragging that Audi in. The Audi screaming its tits off, but it's just got no answer. Meanwhile, Dean, on the other hand, so fast through the bus stop there.
Yeah.
He was losing time to Monkey Boy, and now he's gained time to Rabbit Joe. But meanwhile, we'll stay on board with exit tips.
Oh, I've really messed this lobby up tonight. I've left the pit stop errors on Kieran. Not only had 100% rear damage, he had a mechanical failure. Takes you back to season 1, Kieran. That's all I can say.
Exit tips not actually pulling Leon Fernie in at all here. So Leon Fernie's found some pace in that Audi somehow.
He has indeed. Argent comes out the pit lane and goes a lap down. Apologies to Kieran Argent. Dean staying within a second. Only lost 0.8 of a second to Rabbit Joe on that last lap. So good pace from Dean. Here, though, is Smithy and Bryn with Max Mulder right in the background. And Bryn up the inside of Smithy. And that is going into turn 1. Smithy then as well loses out to Max Mulder. As Shane, what's happened to him? Because he's in the pits.
He is in the pits. I'm not sure. Has he had a... he couldn't have had a drive-through. He's into the pits. He's got damage, surely. Meanwhile, exit tips is all over the back of Leon Fernie. Monkey Boy is trying to catch his hard nemesis, Dean Wasocki, at the minute.
But he's not. He's lost 2 tenths on the last lap. Monkey Boy just cannot catch Dean Wasocki here. Very strange.
To be fair, Dean Wasocki's actually catching Joe from
yeah,
time to time.
Dean's doing a fairly decent job at the minute. Right, Tibbs, right up the chuff now of Leon Fernie. Gets into that slipstream. Shane's already out the pits. Pit window opens at the end of the next lap. There is Max Mulder looking to dive on Bryn and is a bit behind.
At a moment.
Fair enough. Well, back on board with Tibbs then. In that slipstream of Leon Fernie, is he going to look to pull out now? The Mercedes by now would probably be flying past. Tibbs looks up the inside into the bus stop, backs out of that one, thinks better of it yet again.
Yeah, just timing himself for a better opportunity, possibly.
Can't seem to get close enough on that first run to the bus stop. Then gets a bit of a poor exit from the bus stop and really compromises his run on the second part of the banking. And the Porsche not having the grunt the Mercedes has doesn't seem to pull it in as quick.
Yeah, I think as well, he seems to have to run on the Porsche right now. So the Ginetta has to run on the Porsche. We know the Ginetta can be quite quick at power circuits. We've seen it at Spa. Andy put the Ginetta on pole at Spa, which is...
It just comes out that slipstream look and just loses to Welshie, though. That's the problem. Max is in. That's a lap early for Max. So Max will have to provide significant damage here, as will Shane in this one. It's the end of lap 4, and Max is in at the end of lap 3. So that is an early pit stop for Max, and he'll either have to pit again or provide evidence of significant damage. And Leon Fernie has Tibbs right on the back of him. Max's teammate is trying to defend from Tibbs, and it's Joe from Dean from Monkey Boy. And again, Dan, last time around, Dean 4 tenths faster than Monkey Boy.
Yeah, Monkey Boy just doesn't have an answer for Dean at this stage of the race. Maybe a little bit later on, maybe he's going to hope that Dean makes a mistake. But right now, this is the fight to keep an eye on. Is Tibbs attacking Leon as he goes a little bit deep. No, that's lag.
Yeah,
that was the lag.
Yeah.
I thought that was him going deep, but it was just genuine lag. This is an interesting fight. Ginetta versus Porsche versus Ferrari. As Max in a lap too early as
has Bryn gone in
Leon's
the middle
under pressure
of Welshie, or has Welshie managed to get past Bryn there? Not too sure either way. Bryn, Welshie's dropping down the order, so not sure what's happening there.
Help you, Leon.
Tibbs now Does he have that bit of a nose up the inside? He does. And once again, Dan backs out of it. Welch's dropped down the standings a little bit. Wonder if he's made a mistake somewhere. Tibbs, once again, though, backs out of it. Yeah, he's just coming back onto the over, so he's definitely made a mistake there as Bryn gets past Oakbar.
Yeah, definitely. So you see here, Tibbs going to the outside of Leon Fernie. That's a brave move to do it around the outside. You want to switch to try and get to the inside, but Leon's got it covered. Porsche would just out-drag the Audi here, but not by much. I think Tibbs is probably carrying a lot more downforce than he probably needs. That's why he's a little bit slower.
I think so. He's catching him, but he's not able to sort of get past him, is he? They keep it, good driving from them to there. They keep it respectful. Dean, 3/10 quicker than Joe last lap. Monkey Boy matching the pace of Rabbit Joe last lap. So Dean really on a charge at the moment. Bryn's into the pits, first man in the pit window.
Yep, he's in the correct window as Tibbs still can't find a way through. But the problem he's got now, he's got a fast Argent right behind him.
He's got a determined Argent as well right behind him, who's trying to unlap himself and make up as many places. Kelly as well comes into the pits.
He's had another moment. Dean, by the way, has just broke into the second barrier. He's on my screen. Obviously, you guys can't see it, but I get a little icon with an exclamation mark saying they're within a second. And obviously, at this minute, Tibbs is definitely within that second. Mine keeps flashing with Dean. Dean is actually catching Joe. So if Joe's making a couple errors right now, it's not what he wants right now. But Argent, on the other hand, he's in a really weird spot now. He's obviously a lap down, but he can't seem to find a way past these two.
Yeah, can't seem to find a way past. Here comes Tibbs at the moment having another look at the bus stop, and we know he tends to get out of that. Argent, though, look at him trying to go right around the outside at the bus stop. And the lead is Leon Fernie. He's dropped it all on his own, and all that good, hard defensive work has now been put to bed. He's been in the wall as well, rejoins the track, and Tibbs is now, look at Dean, he's within 9/10 of a second.
He's in the tow. He's in the tow.
It's not helping. You see the time going back up over a second, but Dean is nailing the sectors he needs to nail. A 46.1, 7/10 quicker than Joe, 8/10 quicker than Monkey Boy. Whatever Dean is doing this second race, he is doing it right. The Pro-Am record is a 45.4, done by JM Grill.
Oh, okay. I don't think Dean will do that. But either way, Bryn's now got pressure from Kelly. So Kelly's going to try and have a re-attack on Bryn.
Look at Dean through the first four corners, Dan. He was within half a second from 1.2 back at turn one. Dean in this infield is absolutely flying here. Gets it stopped, just misses his apex a little bit, but was able to get on the power just about the same time as Joe. Leon Fernie's in the pits as well. He'll be coming on his way out in a moment, surely. Yes, he is. I think, no, he's not. I thought it moved, it didn't. Right, Dean, within now 4/10 of a second. Keep it close to that Porsche in the slipstream. Dean, I tell you what, he's having a cracking second race, and the bad week of last week, he seems to really be making up for in this second race here.
Could the Porsche lose its 50th win to the Accord?
Oh, imagine. Oh, you couldn't write that, could you? You couldn't write. I'll tell you, someone else, Dan, who's having a good race is Stealth Sloth, P5.
Yes, he's minding his own business, keeping it clean.
Dean's within a 10th. Dean's within a 10th. He's had a great bus stop. I can't believe this.
But the car that's been so dominant for the first two... the first four seasons of Pro is about to get out-raced by the Acura.
It's a track the Acura shouldn't even be on. Never mind win on. Here's Kelly then battling on the back of Bryn. You see Joe just extending that gap, and as they break now into turn one, here comes Dean Wysocki once again. Joe a little wider than Dean. Dean able to keep it tighter because of the Acura. Good on its brakes, and Dean within 3/10 of a second once again here. Dean is giving it everything he's got. We'll need to see footage from a few drivers in terms of their pit stops. Max being one of them in this second race. Stealth Sloth from 5th place in at the end of 6.
I think Kelly pitted again, so he has pitted twice, and he's pitted within the pit window. So
yes, Kelly has.
I don't need to provide footage.
Shane and Max for race 2. Imagine winning the 50th race and you pitted a lap early with not sufficient damage. How heartbreaking would you be to lose it in the chat? Good evening to Forzy. Hope you're well, buddy.
You best get your yourself brushed off and ready to get racing, Forzy, because next season ACC will be on the cards, as will F1, and we know for a fact you'll be back on the grid for sure. As I believe Exit Tips, he did joined us in F1 as well.
Yeah,
so
he did F2.
Yep, F2, yep. So we'll see him on the grid, and
PN Motorsport, some more maybe. Obviously, we get some new drivers with it being cross-platform F1, so that's going to be good to see. Dean just losing out in the quicker parts. It's like Dean's doing a stellar job to keep it here. Lap 7 of 17 now. The question is, Dan, we know Dean's got that habit of pit going long. He surely has to follow Joe in the pits.
The pot stop.
He has to follow Joe into the pits here, doesn't he?
I think I don't know. I think he could afford Joe to go in early, and then he comes in straight away after.
I don't know. I think Dean needs that slipstream.
No, that's what I'm saying. He gets the tow. If he comes in on his own and he doesn't get a tow off anyone...
Oh, right, yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
He's going to come out dragging by himself. Yes, obviously, he would have pitted early. He would have had the advantage of pitting early. But obviously, it's not enough. If he goes out and uses the tow from Joe all the way to the point till Joe then pits, he can carry on that slingshot into Sector 1, then pit straight after Joe. He can then use that advantage, overcut him instead of undercut him, but he's going to be underneath him in a minute.
Dean's just getting on the power so much earlier than Rabbit Joe, and here comes the Acura. My God, this would be a fantastic win for the Acura if it was to take a win tonight. Joe's going so defensive at the minute. Dean's just driving his line. Smithy's in at the end of lap 7.
He's underneath. He's there. He's there.
Side by side, Welchie comes into the pits at the end of lap 7 as well. Here comes Dean Wisocki to the outside of Rabbit Joe. He's just now got to follow Joe on the banking. This is a fantastic little scrap. Monkey Boy doesn't have an answer. Dean Wisocki is really charging on Rabbit Joe here, but this is where he loses out, and really loses out, Dan.
Yeah, he loses out massively here, but Joe's just doing the thing that he shouldn't be doing. He's fighting him unnecessarily. He's defending on corners when he doesn't need to.
Oh, Kelly's got ahead of Bryn there, notice.
Yep, he has moved ahead. Let's look it through the bus stop.
Oh, my days. Oh, look at this. He had a cheeky look there. Joe comes across to cover it. Dean's just got to stick to the back of that car. Dean Wisocki here is really putting the Porsche driver under pressure, and he's making Joe think hard about this one. Max up to P7, Shane up to P6, them two early pit stop under review, but they are the first drivers to complete their pit stops, and everybody else from up bar above have got to pit, and Dean only half a second behind as they're about to hit the brakes now. Dean is getting closer and closer and closer.
He is indeed. In a minute though, Joe is going to learn very quickly where that Acura is stronger than he is, and he'll just learn bits and sections. Dean's taking either too long to do this, or Joe's just going to keep learning. He's just going to keep learning, and I think it's going to get to a point where Dean might have to pull the trigger and try and force Joe to do something that he doesn't want to do.
Is this from Dean, stick with Joe as best I can to maybe pull away from Monkey Boy? Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's not going for a race win. Maybe it's to pull away and get that podium.
He wants race win. He wants to finish the season on high. I think what he's doing, he's got race pace in clear air to beat to beat Monkey Boy on his own. He doesn't need the tow. The tow is helping him, but actually right now, he was doing 46.1s when he was a second off him. Yeah. Now, he's behind him and he's done 46.6, so he's struggling to actually get back to the 46.1s because he has to go slower through bus stop and also through Sector 1.
Yeah, agree with you, actually, to be fair. Exit Tibbs, 45.9. Oh, that was a bit wobbly from Dean, but look, still gets the better exit than Rabbit Joe. Wow, this Acura's something, eh, Ben?
If I was Dean now, that slingshot there was enough for me to go, you know what, I'm going to dive in now. But what does he do? Joe stays to the inside.
Yeah, Dean's kind of gone out the slipstream there, so he was kind of neither here nor there. Joe gets that gap back to 7/10 of a second. Monkey Boy's kind of come under pressure from exit Tibbs. Look at Argent. This, to me, kind of proves that Tibbs is running too much wing.
Yeah.
We're seeing Joe be able to pull away from Dean.
Trigger.
Yeah, end of lap 9, that is. We're seeing Joe be able to pull away from Dean on the straight. Tibbs can't drop Argent. So I think that proves. Dean's dropped back to within a second of Joe now.
Exit Tibbs is more stable through the middle sector.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
sorry.
just proving that Tibbs is running that bit more wing. Ukbar as well comes into the pits at the end of lap 9. So literally just Tibbs, Joe and Dean for a pit stop. Well, he's having a good scrap. Oh, bit of a nudge there. Oh, little friendly love tap there from Bryn and Kelly. Nothing more than that on the final race of the season.
That was a full-blown love tap, I think that was.
Yeah. That was a full-on kiss on the lips, that, between the two drivers. As then, Shane and Max are coming through to try and gain on Ukbar, but Ukbar is out the pits before them, so that bodes well if you're Tibbs, Dean and Rabbit Joe when you have to pit them. You know that you will be out ahead of Shane and Max Mulder at this moment in time. That is Bryn and Kelly, I think, having a few more love taps at the exit of the bus stop. We saw on board with Dean there. There is Bryn sitting and allowing Kelly to go. Did Bryn just kiss him one too many times, I wonder? And he lets Kelly... Well, there was a rapid Rabbit Joe and Dean Wasocki coming through then.
Yeah, they weren't messing about. They wanted to get through that traffic as quickly as they possibly could. Meanwhile, Welshie is under pressure from Leon Fernie, but this would have put Rabbit Joe off a little bit. He would have lost time.
Yeah.
Dean would have been going to get a little bit closer. Obviously, not enough to obviously do anything into turn 1. But it's so frustrating when you're sat in this situation. Dean faster again that lap. You're so frustrated in this situation because you can see the car pulling, but you know you're quicker everywhere else.
Yeah. And this for Dean is really going to be frustrating him. It's really going to be sort of irritating him as well. He really wants to make sure he can try and take that last race win and not give Audi or Porsche its final win. Tibbs is in at the end of lap 10. And in all fairness for Dean, he's looking for race win number 4 in his Simplay career. But he's looking for the Acura/Honda's 17th win to put it one behind the BMW, which would be fantastic. Obviously, Dean drove the BMW and he was the one who's got the most wins in that car. And Dean looking to put the Acura within one of the BMW, I think is a great chance. And he gets as close as he's been yet. Really now stick to the back of that car. Tibbs is in the pits. Monkey Boy goes back to third. Tibbs is on his way out. Tibbs actually loses out to Ukbar and Shane, and is probably going to lose out to Max Mulder. So a bit of a long stop for Tibbs there.
Yeah, not the best up there. This is getting intense as Smithy and Welshie are going at it. Two old rivals once again as they go towards turn 1. Welshie right around the outside, and that's why the Porsche is so much stronger in a straight line. Meanwhile, 1/10 again.
Yeah, 1/10 again on the exit to the bus stop, but Dean now is just going to start to lose out, and lap 11 of 17, they've got to be thinking of pit stop soon as Leon Fernie's back into the pit, so he must have made a problem somewhere. He pitted within the pit window, so he is fine as Joe now pulls the trigger.
He needs to get it stopped, which he does.
So what are you saying then, Dan? I'll buy your strategy, Dean, in this lap?
He just needs to nail this lap. If Dean is listening, Dean, you have to nail this lap. Get it spot on, be as clean as you possibly can. You won't get the toe of another car, but you just got to react to him now. You cannot let Rabbit Joe get the advantage.
This is where we'll see if Dean's learnt this season, because Joe's already on his way out the pits before Monkey Boy's even at the final part of the banking. If Dean has learnt this season, react to the other cars, and this has been the big test for Dean now. Can he react to Rabbit Joe? Joe is out his limiter
Joe as well.
Oh,
he has got traffic ahead. Yeah, it was a little bit. He's got traffic as well. So if he does catch Leon Fernie and the guys in front of him, he has to clear them and he's very slow through the pit exit as well. So he struggled with the pit exit, but Dean, he needs to come in this lap. He needs to react to Joe's pit.
Well, she's got back ahead of Smithy, and here comes Shane to try and take on Ukbar. Stovsloff's got ahead of Max Mulder, so Max Mulder has had a problem somewhere, so that record-breaking race win is not going to happen. And is he coming into the pits there? He is indeed. So that then will clear him from any investigation of a pit stop then. So at the end of 12, Dean. Well. Could we be about to see something?
He's only lost 4/10 about the slipstream. So he needs to come in now. If he leaves it any longer, he will mess up.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. Dean, drop down. Get in the pits. Box, pit confirm. He's in. Is this going to win the race? Is this going to win the race? He gets it slowed. He gets it in the box. Dean Wasocki at the end of lap 12 is pulling the trigger. Is this the overcut? I've never been so excited in my life.
Max has had another moment. He's had enough for this one, I think. So
Yep.
Rabbit
No
Joe in
50th
the
win for the
final
Audi.
sector.
No record for Max Mulder. Dean Wasocki.
This is a long hold. Is this a mechanical failure?
Oh no! Please,
Pit
please
stop
no.
error.
Joe's going to get past him. I think Monkey Boy's going to get past him.
So the pit stops. Has he forgot to change his tyre setup?
Oh no!
Is he changing tyres?
Who's away now? Dean's down in 3rd place. Oh, what a shame for Dean Wasocki there.
He did everything right. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. Maybe pit strategy or something. Tyres have been left on from race 1, you know, and he changed the tyres, added fuel, damage maybe. I don't know what it is. Maybe a pit stop error. Ukbar is now going to be fighting Dean on exit with Shane.
Dean
so
knows
Dean possibly.
Dean knows he's got the pace to get back on this podium. Ukbar's 3rd, Shane is 4th. Dean knows he's got the pace to get back on this podium. If it's a pit stop error, I have to apologise. But Joe and Monkey Boy 1-2 for the Porsche. Going to bring the Porsche's 50th home, it looks like, from this point now. But for Dean Wasocki, can he redeem himself and get back on the podium if it's a pit stop error? That is completely my bad, and I apologise. Argent Dan has got back up to P12, and the Constructors' champs are 13th and 14th at the moment. And we know what happens when these two get near each other.
I was going to say, to put it in this perspective, these two have been so dominant this season in the Constructors. They're now 13th and 14th. They're about to get lapped by Rabbit Joe.
Indeed, they are. Here comes Dean, Ukbar and Shane once again. Then Tibbs is some 10 seconds off the back of these. Dean's now in more of a fair fight with the cars around him.
He is indeed. Even Self-Soft and Welsh are together as well. So teammates battling one another. Max just doesn't have any answer in the dry. In the wet, he did. In the dry, there's no answer. Oh, Dean!
Oh, no, Dean! He's gone too hard. He's pushed too hard there, and there goes the podium. PN in the chat, I'm going to say this, great season to watch, even though I'm not a Project Cars 2 fan. I have OT physically and digitally, plus all the DLC. Right, okay, yeah, but great to hear you enjoyed the season though, PN. I didn't get the last bit, but great to hear that you enjoyed the season.
Joe's not out of this yet. He's got to clear the 2 Audis.
Oh!
Joe! Oh!
Oh my days. Monkey Boy
Jesus
wins
Christ,
it.
Joe.
Oh, could you imagine that?
Yeah. Oh my
The
God,
Audis
Joe,
up
just keep
front.
it on track.
Battling each other side by side they are as they come towards the
They're making
line.
a barricade to stop the Porsche from coming through.
Well, I think it's inevitable that the Porsche is going to win this race. Dean's now lost out to exit.
Wait.
Oh, Monkey Boy's had a problem.
Where's Ukbar's coming? Oh my God, the 2 Porsches, don't drop it now.
Oh my
Don't
days.
drop it now.
Ginetta doesn't get it.
Ginetta or the Ferrari.
Could you imagine the Ginetta doesn't get its 25th pole but gets the win? Porsche gets the pole but doesn't get the win. Oh, that'd be a story, wouldn't it?
Oh my God, Dean has dropped down the order even more. He's behind the Self-Soft and Welshie pairing now. KLF is then trying to chase down Smithy, but Rabbit Joe,
Bryn's down to 14th, so I'm not sure what's happened to Bryn, but Bryn's down in 14th place. Oh, yeah, that's
He's
wounded.
off at the bus stop.
Yeah. That is wounded. Shane now on the back of Ukbar. The timing screens say that Shane's in front of Ukbar. Apparently he's closer to the leader than Ukbar. Well done, Project Cars. We will miss you. Right then. Final few laps. Lap 15 of 17. I feel for Dean tonight, Dan. I feel for him in this race.
Yeah, definitely so.
But
I'm going to blame the host. The host.
Yeah, I'll fully take responsibility for this. But Dan, at the end of the day, this is motorsport. He's pushed too hard. He made the mistake himself on track.
I wonder where Ukbar was then, because again, it did its weird thing where I thought he was alongside then. But Bryn's back in the pits. Shane is now fighting for a podium place here, and he's well ahead of Argent. Where's Argent? He's 11th. Shane, 14 points, wasn't it, the gap between these two?
Let me work this out. Oh, we love the
Shane
end of the
needs this
season.
podium.
Well, hang on a second.
He does, though. He still needs to clear that car. He needs to keep scoring points.
Yeah, he needs to get on that podium. He needs to be on P3 at least. Unless Argent loses out to Max, He needs to be P3 at least at the moment. If
Max
he gets...
isn't a million miles away.
Hang on a second. He needs P2 or Argent to lose another place.
I mean, Monkey Boy's there. Oh, and you can hear the Ginetta struggling.
Okay, Argent is fine where he is. Shane needs
Dean's
P2.
in the pits.
Oh, Dean, what a shame. Kelly, oh, this helps Argent out in terms of that fight with Shane.
Does it? Because Dean is only coming out of the pits now. Argent's not there yet.
Right, so no then. So Dean will stay ahead of Argent.
Only just.
Yeah, only just, but Dean's still ahead of Argent. Max and Leon's 10, 11 seconds behind Argent, but time's running out. That 15 to 17. Right then, Argy Bargy. Again, the timing screen says that Shane's 8/10 quicker, clear of Ukbar here.
Argent needs to clear Dean to be sure that he will definitely secure second place.
Oh,
Dean's had a wobble.
His head's gone. The head, you can tell the head's gone, Dan, can't you? That one mistake, the long pit stop, the one mistake. Oh, Dean, what are you doing? Fight for every place, man. That then doesn't help things out, but these two are gaining on the back of Monkey Boy at the moment. Shane, 3/10 quicker than Ukbar last lap, and was 1.2 quicker than...
He's looking to the outside.
Well, that's a brave move.
That was ballsy.
Yeah, that is a brave move from there.
We'll get the slingshot out, though, but...
second place is right there. And second place will give him an extra 7 points. Argent's only gained 1 point. So if Shane gets second, Argent's now in P10.
Oh, Monkey Boy!
Oh, my days. They'll be tied on points, and because Shane's won more races, Shane would get second place. But Shane needs second place. Argent needs to stay 10th.
The MC Motorsport boys are having a good little fight.
I genuinely think Dean's given up here because now Max and Leon Fernie's got through. Oh, just get to the... Yeah, Dean, no matter how much your head goes, get to the end. These two fought last week, Dan, and took each other's rear wings off. So them two want to be careful in 6th and 7th.
Look at these two go. Well, she down the inside. He gets the job done.
Oh, he's pushed his teammate out wide there as well. So he got stealth, give him a flash.
He pushes Magic Mike out the way.
Oh, Shane then. Lap 16 of 17. Oh, what is Dean doing there? Man, I saw him drop off the banking. Oh, he's dropped out of the way.
Monkey Boy, you are under some pressure for this last lap. Come on, Shane. There it is. There is your second place. Go and get it.
He needs to go and get it. Last lap of the race. Shane needs, 2 places to get second place in this championship. Oh, Dean's come back in the pits. Why is he in the pits again? I'm not sure. Either way. Snowsloth's now dropped off the back. Oh, here comes Ukbar! Oh, no! You can't ride this! Ukbar's in the side of Monkey Boy, and Shane is into second place! Can you believe it? At the last minute, this could go the way of Shane in the championship, Dan!
Oh my God! Shane's just got to keep it on track now, but that Porsche will be very fast in a straight line. Oh my God, Argent can't do anything. He can't do a thing. Rabbit Joe, meanwhile, is on his way for another race win. He's going to get the Porsche's 50th win. But Monkey Boy's gone deep. Shane gets the drive.
Oh,
he pulls away.
You can't write this at all, Rabbit Joe. What a fantastic end to this season for the Porsche. It's finally got it. And then Plava's not in the chat as Dean's coming out of the pits now. He hopes he needs to hope that Bryn's nowhere near him. That's Bryn. Right, so Bryn, a lap down. Dean will finish 13th. Bryn will then be 14th place. Max has dropped in as well. Leon's got past him. Right then, Rabbit Joe is going to be the man who gets the Porsche's 50th win. What a job for the Porsche to get race win number 50. Rabbit Joe's first win of the season. But more importantly, the battle for second place. I think race. Monkey Boy's too far back from here, but it's 4.5 tenths, 4.4, 4.5, 4.1, 3 tenths. He's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. Shane is going to get second place in this race. Monkey Boy for P3, and Ukbar will cross the line in 4th place. Exit Tibbs. What a great end to the season for him in P5. Oh, my day. Stealth and Welsh having another little scrap here. I don't know if Max had to fuel, but yeah, there is Tibbs. Stealth and Welshie having a
I
scrap
think
at the
Max is
moment.
doing donuts.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Obviously,
So fifth place
champion cooldown lap was what he
for
wanted, and he
exit Tibbs. 12th place for Max Mulder. Well, actually, he'll hope to, because Dean comes round. Dean couldn't nick that from him. Welshie, though, will cross the line P6. Stealth Sloth, P7. Good job this is last race at season, Stealth Sloth, isn't it? So Smithy, then. What a night for Smithy. A 7th and an 8th. Good set of results for Smithy here, then. KLF, well, kind of a night to sum up his season, isn't it? P9 for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
so.
no! No, Argent's ahead of Max. It doesn't matter. Ignore me. Sorry. I thought Argent could have passed Max here and upset Shane.
No.
Argent's going to come across the line for P10. Where's Dean in terms of Max then?
With no rear wing.
Yeah.
Max is, he's burnt those tyres out.
I think Dean's definitely given up on this one. He looks like he's buried it in the wall and things. Max has definitely burnt the tyres out for P12. So Dean then, Argent crosses the line P10. Leon Fernie's going to cross the line P11. Max is going to do it before Dean Wisocki P12. Dean Wisocki 13th place in this one. Dean P12 in this one. Max P13 as the drivers are coming in for their interviews. Fastest lap of the race, 45.8 from Shane, 45.9 from Tibbs, 45.3 from Max. And Max then gets your fastest lap of the race to finish things off. But Dan, in that final frantic last lap, Shane and Argent tied on points because of the countback of race wins. Shane will take it for second place in this championship. Can you believe that one?
I knew it would be on that last lap, and what a dramatic last lap that was. Ukbar going for the dive on Monkey Boy. They came together, and Shane slipped right down the inside, saying, "Thank you very much. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots."
Yes, Dan, love that one. SFA
you,
Acora, though. SFA Acora do beat the Super Crash Bros by 2 points as Wakisaki Racing finished bottom of the pile. So the final classifications, obviously before any inquiries come in. Max Mulder, your champion. Argent missed out on second. That goes the way of Shane. Argent P3. Monkey Boy P4 with Ukbar in 5th. Rabbit Joe 6th with that win. Kelly down in 7th. Dean Wisocki P8 finishes just ahead of Smithy thanks to getting that point from Max at the very end there. Leon Smithy 9th, Welshie 10th, Bryn 11th, Leon Fernie 12th, DJ Phil 13th, Tibbs in 14th with Stealth Sloth 15th, Bozzy Boy 16th. The constructors looks like this. SRL Racing Team, your champions as we knew. SFA Acora Racing in 2nd, Super Crash Bros 3rd, Audio Sport 2 All Pros in 4th, Terminal Velocity Racing 5th, MC Motorsport 6th, Simplay Racing 7th, Wakisaki Racing 8th. And we will start with Monkey Boy, who
Just before we get on to Monkey Boy,
Sorry,
I just
go
got
on.
a message off Max asking, is the interview just for the top 3, or can he come on to speak or not?
We'll just leave it for the top 3, obviously. If he'd have won the championship tonight, we'd have had him in, but obviously we've had him in with being champion. So we'll leave it there. Monkey Boy, race 1 didn't go according to plan. You come last out of the classified finishers. But race 2, much better until the last lap.
Yeah, that was, yeah. I'm pleased that's finished with.
Yeah, we move to a new era next season. Obviously, a lot of talks going on. You're a very popular man on ACC, it does seem at the moment. But talk us through that last race. It was the Project Cars 2 finale for Pro-Am. It was your finale. Obviously, you've been a champion. You've won races on Project Cars. Just talk us through that last race, though, and sum up Project Cars for us.
It's been good. Obviously, it's been a good platform for people to learn and build on. It's been some exciting racing. Obviously, it's been good to be enjoying on it. But yeah, that was very eventful. That last couple of laps, my tyre pressure sort of rocketed, and the back end was very twitchy. And yeah, I sort of went from like 5 or 6 seconds to having Shane and Ukbar on my bumper, and I was thinking, oh no, this ain't going well. Then yeah, the next thing I know, Ukbar was down the inside.
Yeah. And
it was like, okay, just hold on, hope that doesn't go off. And yeah, it just sort of, I'm happy to get a podium on the last race. It's nice to be back on the podium after so long.
It is indeed. Talk us through the first part, though. You couldn't catch a little Acora. how you
I
started
wondered if
in
you
the
might
Acura
mention that.
season 1 and you wasn't able to catch it in race 2, and obviously it took Dean's pit stop to kind of ruin his race. But you wasn't catching the Acura.
No, I was playing the long game. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. Keeping the tyre pressures down so they could balloon at the end. Love that. We
Yeah.
look to the new era though in the new year, Monkey Boy. Are you looking forward to it first of all?
Yes, I am actually. Refresh, start again. I enjoyed it when we did it in the off season, so yeah, I'll hopefully carry on where we left off.
Yeah, hopefully so. Dan, actually tell Max to come in, and Kieran Argent, if you're listening to the stream, get in. We will speak to the top 3 here for the championship as well. Well, Monkey Boy, congratulations tonight. We look forward to seeing what you can do in the new year. Best of luck Saturday, 6 hours of Cota for the Simplay Racing team, Bozzy Boy, and Palava and Monkey Boy in that one. And then if you would like to join me and Monkey Boy next week, check out his POV on Twitch and check out mine on Twitch as we do the 2 hour of Donington Park for Simplay Racing as well. Try and sort of big up the channel and take on some other quick guys. But well done, Monkey Boy, for tonight, and we can't wait to see you in the new year.
Oh, sorry, just well done on Joe for getting the 50th win.
Indeed. So we will speak with Shane briefly. We'll only keep it brief because we're going to ask him another couple of questions in a moment. Shane, that was kind of Christmas a week and a half early for you there. Great pace in this race. You've had good pace all night. You've had great pace all season. But that move from up by, your eyes must have lit up and tucked up the inside. Talk us through a bit of your race there. Yeah. Well, Christmas come early indeed. Daytona, give us your thoughts on the track, because obviously a lot of these drivers have done this for many a season. That's your first outing on it. A fan of the circuit? Oh, did we? Oh, right, there we go then. Yeah, there we go then. Yeah. And obviously we're going into that new era. Yeah, we're going into that new era of ACC. Obviously, you've just found your feet with Project Cars. We now move to something a little more difficult and tricky. You looking forward to it? Yeah, I'm sure we'll all help out over the off-season and get to grips. Well, we'll just stay there for a moment, Shane. We just want to get your opinion on the championship in a moment. But we have to speak to our race winner. Joe, you said you come to Daytona, you picked this track, you said, I will win here. It didn't look great at the start of the night, but you did in the end.
Yeah, no, the start of the night scared me, both from my Wi-Fi. I don't know what was happening there. I feel like it might have been me just jumping in at the server at a dodgy time and I messed it up on my end. I don't know what happened. It's Project Cars too. But yeah, no. And then not only was that scaring me in the second race, Dean was scaring me.
Talk us through a bit of that battle there, because you had the advantage on the straight, unlike other Porsches, but you then lost out massively on the infield. By the way, Monkey Boy, if you're still there, that was aimed at you.
Harsh.
Yeah,
just talk us through that battle with Dean, though, because like I say, on the straight, you was epic. But every time Dean got to the infield or the bus stop, he really closed that gap.
Yeah, Dean had his car planted. It loved the corners, and he got epic exits from that bus stop. But my car felt great in practice, and as soon as it got into this race, the front tyres had just gone after 2 laps, and I was really struggling to turn it. Hence going wide so many times in turn 1. But I knew I'd have to keep it defensive. It lost me a lot of time through that and through the tyre wear, and I knew the straights were my key point to kind of gain that time, and it was just going to be kind of down to pit stops to where it would come out and what I'd have to put out from it after then. And unfortunately, Dean didn't work out in the pit stops, and yeah,
Porsche 50th race win. That's the achievement you wanted tonight. If anything, you just wanted to get its 50th win before the Audi, didn't you?
100%. amazed that I'm the guy to do that around the final track of the season, but also my favourite track of Project Cars 2. I know it off the back of my hand, and which is why I came into this race so confident. It's just everything was there for me, and it was great.
Now, obviously, not coming back next season. Maybe we see you on F1, but not ACC. So that's your GT3's come to an end. Highs and lows for you, really? Sum it up in one or two words.
Hard work. A lot of practice, a lot of time into this game, and it's been really enjoyable. I know that's more than 2 words, but yeah.
Well done on tonight's win. And we'll grab a quick word. Argent,
Thank you.
Race wins means you finished 3rd in the championship, buddy. That's commiserations at the end there.
Yeah, I don't want to go into too much detail. I'm a bit really annoyed with what happened in Race 2. With the contact with Max, and also the obviously even of delaying with a pit stop error. If what it is, end of the day, but it's just really annoyed me that I've done everything I can and I've still come short.
Yeah, I do once again to all the drivers on the track. I do apologise for pit stop errors. That is my error, and I do apologise for that one. You come up short, but it's been a valiant effort from you, Kieran. Though the Acura has gone all the way. And I think you had doubts about that at the beginning of the season. It's done you proud, though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'll take P3 in a championship, but to be 14 points clear with 1 race to go, knowing I just need a P5, P6, you know, it's just demoralising in a way.
Yeah,
to be taken out on turn 2.
Yeah. Indeed, it is. That's racing, though. You know, obviously, we have the highs, we have the lows,
Yeah,
and this is one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, I'm not going to take anything away from Shane. You know, we've come away with, 3 or 4 race wins this season. So,
5.
You know, whatever it is, he deserves to be up there. I just thought I'd done enough.
Yeah.
And then, I'd say, come up just 1 point short.
Yeah.
Makes it even worse.
Yeah. Which, like you say, is a bit of a shame for yourself. But nonetheless, Project Cars 2, highs and lows for yourself, Kieran. Obviously, multiple constructors champion in the pro-am with certain teammates. One of them being Monkey Boy, and
Yeah.
Fury, Rabbit Joe. Obviously, 2 drivers in this podium.
Just a shame I couldn't get it done myself in terms of the title championship driver championship. Obviously, had a few consistent seasons in pro-am when I won the 3 in a row constructors with teammates. And they all went on to win the title, which is a bit frustrating for me in a way, in that respect. But yeah, I'm just say I don't want to keep going on about it, but I'm just a bit down after that.
Obviously, one of the main admins and one of the guys who started really at Simplay Motorsport from the get-go. One of the guys in the background that started it. New era coming for the channel. Are we looking forward to that?
Yeah, like I said before, I'm taking the season out racing with a lot going on in personal life at the moment, so maybe come back in the following season. But I'm sure you'll see me in and around the chat and maybe commentate if I can help everywhere. But next season, I'm definitely having a season out, just recuperate. Yeah. It's something I decided before this week anyway, so it's not like it's an immediate reaction. But
well, you will be missed, Kieran, and hopefully we see you back out there on the track in the future. And Shane, lastly, obviously you started sim racing, you know, the 4th week into last season. You've kind of been at it a couple of months now, and P2 in a championship, that must be good for you. Highs and lows of this season? Well done on this season. I gave you my driver of the season in terms of that. There is a vote in the chat. Driver of the season has gone the way of Argent from the chat. They have given it the way of Argent. Dan, I know you gave yours to Max, but driver of the day today, Dan?
Driver of the day. I think driver of the day is going to be Smithy. I think looking at the order of the grid, I think Smithy or Shane. I think Shane possibly as well. I think Shane driver of the day with a very close Smithy. Yeah. I think.
Well, fair enough. Final thoughts from yourself.
Well, Rabbit Joe, you finally done it, mate. You finally got the Porsche to its 50th win. Took you long enough, but yeah, the Porsche's up there. It's now finally crossed the line. It's done what it needs to do. Project Cars is coming to an end, to an era. I've got to decide whether I want to race ACC or F1. Probably F1 because I detest ACC, but you'll catch me in the commentary box for ACC for sure. But Project Cars is now coming to an end. We're going to miss it. We're going to love it. Still, obviously, there's loads of endurance races that we can still do on it. There's still rallycross. There's still all sorts of different things we can still do on Project Cars that other platforms can't do. But Simplay Racing does move into a new era. We are looking forward to racing on ACC on the PS4 platform. Just a reminder to all the people who are watching and do want to get involved, then have a look in the new year when we do get our sign-ups up and ready to go for F1 2022 and also ACC as well. So make sure you keep an eye on that. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss a thing. But we do have one more round left to go. Yeah. Pro-Am in the thunderstorms at the home track of Simplay Motorsport. This could be an interesting finale, and I think Kelly is looking forward to commentating that one tomorrow night.
I couldn't agree more. There's also Pro tomorrow night in the thunderstorms, not Pro-Am.
That's what I meant.
Just in case you get confused. Me and Dan are on track,
we'll probably be driving like Pro-Am.
Well, yeah, we've seen the puddles. Either way, that is all we have time for. I'm going to give my driver of the day to Shane as well, but a great mention to Joe, Monkey Boy, Max Argent for the podiums, as well as Smithy and Welch, who have had great results, and Stelstoff tonight, to be fair. He's had good results as well. But that is it. Project Cars comes to an end. We'll be live tomorrow, a bit more reaction to the end of Project Cars and more thoughts from more commentators tomorrow night, 8 p.m. GMT, KLF 900, Kelly Davis and CC Smithy, Clive Smith in your commentary box for the season finale of the Pro. Battle on for the Constructors, battle on for second place, as well as many other places up and down the table. We'll catch you tomorrow night from all of us here at Simplay Motorsport. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
A new era of GT3 racing. This is Simplay Motorsport. The BMW looks up the inside at Cops. Contact is made at turn 1. Ferrari looks to the outside at Graham Hill Bend. A new era of GT3 racing. This is Simplay Motorsport. The BMW looks up the inside at Cops. Contact is made at turn 1. Ferrari looks to the outside at Graham Hill Bend. new era of GT3 racing. This is Simplay Motorsport. The BMW looks up the inside.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. I was born to win, watch me elevate. I was born to win, watch me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior